Mic check, mic check. I can't be anti-Semitic. I've had Jewish pussy before.
Dímelo, serio, qué pinga, qué pasa por allá. ¿Cómo está la jeva ahí? ¿Cómo está la cosa?
Keep talking.
A serio, yo estaba cingándome tu jeva el otro día, me deciste lo que pasó. Me la estaba cingando por ahí un poquito por adelante y un poquito por atrás y un poquito de lado. Tú sabes cómo va la cosa. Que se empieza por aquí y se termina por allá.
Pum, 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 pum.
Y tú sabes cómo sonaba eso. Eso era un tremendo tlaqueteo. Así.
Okay.
Así con tu jeva.
Así. Mono. Boom, boom. Yo, Kev, we're on. We're potting at the moment. Let's get it. Welcome, guys, to another episode of V N APE. It's been a while.
Hello.
But we're here.
We're talking to Kev right now.
That boy Kev is on a mission. No pun intended, our old song.
Kev, you mind giving us your location to the point where we could see by satellite? Maybe give us a picture, send the V N APE podcast something with...
Yeah, actually, that would be a great episode cover.
Send the social security number of everyone you're with, all that stuff.
I got you. I'm going to put a picture of the road that's right in front of the crib I'm at.
Yeah, go ahead and do that.
Perfect. That's going to be episode 48, I think.
48.
I'm guessing.
4 is 8.
So yeah, so we do have Kev on the phone. Anything?
Hello?
What's up? Let me try to get you as close to the mic.
Yeah. So, quality, over quantity.
But yeah, we're just give us a little update, Kev. I think last time we spoke, you were in Orlando.
Oh, shit, that's right. Okay, well, now...
You're on an expedition.
I'm in Dallas, Texas. Huh?
No, I was telling the people that you are on an expedition.
Oh, yeah. I'm a man with a vision on a mission. So right now I'm in Dallas, Texas. I take a little walk across, spreading the word of Jesus. Have you guys accepted Jesus Christ into your soul?
I'm straight with him. Like, he never did me no harm and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have beef with him and shit.
No hard feelings.
But we're not like that tight. We're not like brothers and shit. You feel me? Like, I don't really know him like that.
Right. You'll see what's up with him, to him, and the carne asada. I got you.
He's not bad peeps or anything. Like, he's chill.
Yeah, he's pretty chill.
Like, I've talked to people, they're like, yo, that guy's lit. Like, he's, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's good people. But I don't know him like that.
And that's the thing that, like, I feel like he should do that whole thing he used to do back in the day. Like, go door to door, and be like, yo, look at me walking on water and all that bullcrap. Because, like, people don't really know the nigga. Like, he's not that bad.
I mean, but like, you feel me though? But that's the thing. Like, some people, they're like, man, like he had such like great ideas, but then on the other hand, this dude was also like a show off, like walking on water and shit, and it's kind of like, bro, like, can you tone it down a bit? Like,
had a little ego, huh?
That's what I'm saying. Like, you ain't gotta flex like that, you know?
Like, why was he flexing if he wasn't getting no pussy? Like.
Hey, he had.
I don't get it.
Hey, they wanted it. They wanted it. You gotta reread the Gospels, Kev. They wanted it, bro.
That be very true. He like, yo, it be wet in this bit, and I be walking all over it. You're right.
Maybe that's what that means, right? Like walking on water. You know what I mean? Like.
That's actually, you know what? I'm gonna hit up my girl Google real quick and Siri. Then ask him about that shit, because that's an excellent question.
This is something you explore in the mystery schools. You know, like this sort of stuff. Like walking on water means drowning in pussy. You know what I mean? Like.
Damn, I already had lesson 1 and given out, so I'm a research, and then just lesson 2 of the mystery school is gonna be about that. Because that's a good point right there.
We still got to start the mystery schools, Kev. We got to rebring that shit back to life. We can't just let the Freemasons be hijacking that shit and the Rosicrucians.
I feel like we just got to show off on these Masons. Because they be doing a great job, at keeping it alive, but they forgot the sauce. Like, they're lost in the sauce right now.
Yo, Kev, I got to ask you. I don't know if you've seen this, but apparently Jake Paul and Andrew Tate are fighting. Who you got?
I saw that. Yo.
Who you got?
I feel like I got 100 on tape.
You think so?
Bro,
what are the rules?
It's going to be a boxing. Only thing that Jake Paul does.
Oh, that's right.
See?
I got Tate.
Yeah.
You got Andrew Tate.
I got Tate. Yeah.
I got tape.
I'm going to be honest, dog. Yo, my man Jake is 7-zip.
Yo,
Yeah,
and he
but
kinda
you also
short.
gotta look at the people he fought.
He got
He just
footwork.
beat Anderson Silva. Is that not a...
Anderson Silva's 47.
Yeah, but he old, bro.
He is?
He's fucking 47. He's
Yeah,
bro.
bro, he broke his clavicle or some shit. Like his ankle too, kicking. Like,
So he's very pick and choosy then, you're saying? Like, he knows who he's fighting. Like,
Bro, this
Hey,
is like fighting
Mayweather,
Muhammad
bro. He
Ali when he
fought
was 60.
Mayweather.
Like, what
That
are
was
you trying to prove, dog? Like, don't get me wrong, it's not the same because, like, obviously Anderson Silva, he can still fuck
somebody, yeah.
Like, he'll fuck somebody up, like real
for
shit.
sure.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like if you're talking about if I can take Jake Paul or his brother, or give me like a year to train. You feel me? Because they doing this, you know. Andrew Tate, he the top G. He already take them. You feel me?
Yeah.
I mean, no. All jokes aside, my man is
But Jake Paul is it? No. He definitely has skills as a boxer. Like, there's no denying that.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's not evade that. For sure.
But Tate has done. What is he? Kickboxer?
He's a kickboxer.
He's a kickboxing champion. You feel me?
Sheesh. I don't know, dog. I think this actually might break numbers. I think people are gonna watch this.
Yeah,
one.
this is gonna be huge.
This is definitely what that's about. Numbers.
Yeah, 100%.
Do you think they're gonna cheap it out, bro, and then do some fuck shit, or do you think they're gonna fight it out, bro?
I mean, this is entertainment. So
I think they're gonna fight it out.
Like elongate it as much as
Bruh, I won't respect Andrew Tate if he does some like
I feel like his ego's too big for it.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or at least
And Jake.
I'm on that
Yeah.
with that.
I don't know. Out of all the fights, this might be the one that I'm actually down to actually watch. And
Oh yeah.
Like I'm super interested.
Oh,
now.
yeah, I'll
Because the other Jake Paul ones was like, not very.
Guys,
Right.
I mean, you know how I know it's gonna be interesting?
Oh,
I just saw a picture. I was scrolling on Instagram. Shout out my Instagram. And
shout out
I
to your
saw a
Instagram. What's your
video.
Instagram, Kev? Let the people know.
Kevin_from_heaven07.
Swag. All right, keep on.
So I saw the reels that were there, and I saw a video of Andrew Tate, dancing salsa. Like, with,
Oh, yeah?
like looking all flamboyant and shit in a pink shirt, and I'm like, hey yo. But then I realized that's a top G. You know, like he's probably doing like what?
Dancing is pretty swag, Kev.
Dancing is pretty swag.
That gets the bitches. I don't know.
I have to agree with that. Yeah.
I don't- As people may like, there's always the people that are like, oh, too cool to dance, but like, yo,
No, that's some bullshit, bro. Just say you can't dance or you're embarrassed or something. Don't say some petty shit like
a
that.
lot of people be like, nah, duh, you know, I don't do that, or like, some niggas be like, they just don't like to dance, bro.
Bro, that's just insecurity.
A lot of people are shy.
Definitely,
Yeah.
because honestly, dog, I love dancing. Like I'm Mexican and I dance like banda and cumbias. And
Bro,
all that
dancing-
I don't mind dancing as long as the chick I'm dancing with sucks as much as I do.
Bro, no cap, there was actually like a video about this, I think this country or city that got this like random ass disease that they couldn't stop dancing or laughing to the point where they ended up dying.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was one of those, you know those videos I'll be watching from that guy?
Yeah.
It's like one of those weird cases, like, I think that was it.
That's odd, bro. I gotta admit.
But yeah, dog, dancing is swag. But Andrew Tate and Jake, I'm definitely watching that one,
You're
dog.
watching it,
'Cause
yeah.
I feel like both of them are good dancers.
I don't know about Jake Paul, bro. Listen, bro, a lot of white people don't have rhythm, dog.
Hold up.
Like,
Listen,
No, V. We take that back.
I said a lot.
You
I didn't
take
say
that.
all.
You take that back, bro. We do that funny little thing where we swing our arms around and we spin the legs. So you can't.
They do the Donald Trump, the DT,
That is a fucking flex.
yo, Donald Trump's dances.
I blame Reagan. Ronald Reagan.
What about him?
Bro, he brought crack into America.
You think so?
Like-
But you dance great on crack.
True, that's a good point, Kev. People dance
Bro, before
yo,
that,
Soul Train.
White,
Yeah.
remember that shit? White people had rhythm, bro.
Yo, the coke was in the air, bro. That
Bro,
was
it was top quality shit from Peruvian or Colombian marching powder. Like that shit was good.
You ever seen American Gangster, bro?
Yeah.
Blue Magic?
Ooh,
That's that shit, bro.
that's the shit right there. You feel me? So that's why I blame Reagan, bro.
That was the heron.
Yes, sir.
That was some good heron.
The blue magic. That's what they called it.
If fucking drugs were pure, you know, we wouldn't have this mess. Like, white people wouldn't have this opioid epidemic that they're having now.
That's what I'll be
say
saying.
no, like they used to say.
That shit never worked.
Yeah, bro.
No.
I think that actually made people want to do drugs, probably.
Yeah, because
Like,
they said that
Whatever you don't give them, whatever you try to like hide from somebody or like.
That's always been a part of like intelligence shit, by the way. Like the intelligence communities, they always been dealing drugs to like fund operations that they don't want the government to know about.
You feel me? So that's the whole purpose of delegalization. You know, so that's why I say to my fellow drug users, if you're talking to drugs, you're already having issues. You know, if you're trying to say no to drugs, no, like you're already in the wrong path. You shouldn't be talking to drugs.
Bro, you know what's even scarier?
Damn, I no. Kev just spit some wisdom though. We gotta acknowledge that.
Spit it again, Kev. My bad.
Okay, because they used to tell us, you know, say no to drugs.
Right.
And let's be honest. If you're talking to drugs and trying to say yes or no to drugs, then you're already having issues.
That's what I mean. Yeah, I know.
Discuss it thoroughly.
Kev, I could not agree more.
That's hilarious, Kev. I'm not even
You
gonna
know,
lie.
like, I believe, like, that's all right. This is a
Well
fun
put,
fact.
Kev.
Like that's one for the book. So
For sure.
if DARE, remember the DARE program?
Bro, it's still a thing, Kev. Don't make it seem like
I fucking love Dare. So
no, but check
stoners
this
wear
out.
their shirts. You know, it's just it's a fucking it's a meme at this point.
Bro, no, it's still a thing. There's still an organization.
I know they are, but
However,
they're just getting people to want to. All they did when I was in 5th grade was be like, "Yo, drugs must be really fucking awesome if people are that committed. They be
Right?
sucking dick and shit."
Yeah.
Like, I was already a smart little kid. I'm like, yo, these kids are wasting their bread to actually talk to little kids about drugs. This must be important.
That's what I'm
You
saying.
know? So now they changed the rule. Now it's not about drug awareness. Now it's about mental health awareness.
That is
'Cause
the
they're like,
main
oh, this
cause
shit's not
now.
working. Yeah, that is the main cause because drugs are supposed to be medicine.
You
You
saying
know?
don't do meth, take Ritalin.
Why you thinking anything with AIM was invented? Methamphetamine, cocaine, you know, anything is a substance used in as help. You know, why you think Walgreens is a drug pharmacy?
Yo, speaking of like CIA and shit, I know you guys seen that scary ass shit. I don't even want to mention it.
What scary ass shit?
The guy who
Russian
had the type of alternative coin and the crypto shit, and he tweeted about
Oh yeah.
He tweeted about what?
the CIA and
Oh, that shit that he ended up dead
he
right
ended
after.
up dead
Well,
a
you
day.
can't end up dead.
That was a little.
I mean, did anyone not expect like anonymous currency? Like you can't even track the person.
Yo, but that tweet was wildly like not accurate, but like extremely specific and like
Yeah, it's accurate.
It was just scary though. That's like
It's accurate. He's talking about like they're fucking look. They're using this. They're doing all these illegal trafficking. They're doing all this illegal like human trafficking, drug trafficking, and they're doing it in the Caribbean. It's like, of course they are.
Honestly, I remember that was a tweet, right?
yeah, but he was talking about shit about like in Puerto Rico.
He was already heavily involved. He was
the
just trying to
Jeffrey
blow the
Epstein
lid.
thing.
He said they were gonna torture him. Like
Yeah.
he even admitted it. Like
He was like, I'm fucked, so I might as well just come clean.
type shit.
Right,
That's
that's what I'm
fucking
saying.
scary,
Remember,
dude.
it was a tweet, right?
Yeah, I actually seen that from you, Kev. That's why I told you.
Yeah. It was a tweet, and what I think is crazy is now we're gonna realize if Elon Musk is actually a good guy or an evil villain. Because
Yeah,
he just
sure,
bought
maybe.
Twitter. He just bought Twitter.
He's been on my side so far. Like he's
me
been
too.
alright.
Me too. He's been alright too. You know, I've heard some things, and I'm like, I don't know. But
I don't think he's
been
done
alright.
anything that's been like not
Hey,
fair
yo.
or something. You know what I mean? Or some weird shit so far.
Right. You know, and that's what I'm saying. Like now, I think we're really gonna see if he's actually a good guy, which I actually think he is. You know, or he's part of the agenda.
You think he's for the people or for the agenda?
I don't know, bro.
I think he's probably part of the agenda, to be honest with
Yeah, I think too, because Abraham
All these
Lincoln
motherfuckers,
worked
right?
for the people. Abraham Lincoln looked for the people. Like, if you look in history, you're like, damn, that's the nigga that did that. You know, but then you actually look at the records, look at the receipts, and you're like, hey, yo.
But Elon's against a lot of the people that are in the agenda.
Yeah. Is he Jew?
He fucking hates.
Kev was like, is he a Jew?
He's not.
Kev, bro, what's
You
up?
don't want us to get canceled,
You been
bro.
hanging out with Kanye, bro? What's going on?
Look,
Oh my, they don't even. I got.
Before we start this conversation, let's understand that we are with our friends, the Jewish community.
Listen, I already stated in the first seconds that we cannot be anti-Semitic.
We're not
have been
anti-Semitic,
with
bro.
a Jewish girl. So the V N APE podcast is in the clear, my boy. We're already there.
I got family members that fuck Jewish chicks.
Is in the clear.
There we go.
However, our
So,
individuals,
Clear. And we love all the Jewish people.
Bro, I have a Kabbalah tatted on my skin, bro. Like,
There you go, bro. Kev's in the clear already, bro. It's like, come on. So anyway,
Like I have such respect for the Masons, you know, and they are a Jewish fraternity, you know. So let's clear that out the way, you know, because as Dave Chappelle is, if we start, you know, having the same thought process more than two people, and we're Latino, we are a gang. If we were Italian, we'd be a mob.
oh, you're talking about this monologue. This guy's just going through my topics. Hold up, Kev. Wait, chill. Fuck. What were we talking about right before we were shouting out our Jewish people? What were we talking about?
Elon Musk and whether or not he's a Jew.
Oh, yeah.
He's not a Jew.
He's not a Jew, and he hates Bill, he's for sure part of the agenda.
Oh, that's dope.
I don't know. I just feel like Elon has been that guy to go against it in some sorts of it. Twitter being free speech, kind of against the woke
so what
shit.
about Trump?
I don't know about Trump.
He hasn't let Alex Jones back on.
Damn, I know, that is something I wanted to get on too. It's like
What?
Alex, because people have been asking Elon about putting Alex Jones back on the platform, and he actually said no because of like the shit he was doing was like had to do with children, and he has no like sympathy for that in a way. That's kind of for
My thing is like, yo, he didn't do shit to those kids.
Not at all.
Yeah, and I don't agree with even let's say, but people say millions of things every day, and just
Exactly.
like to say that Alex Jones literally killed them is fucking crazy. I'm not saying
Because
Elon
people
said
die
that,
every day, B.
but people's argument would be that influenced people to go do shit to the.
That's a shitty argument.
Is it?
I feel
Yeah,
like,
how the
I
fuck
feel
is he
like the
gonna
whole point with Alex
influence?
Jones and the kids, I feel like this is such an intellectual discussion that the main people in control are using people's ignorance about what's going on to their favor and add more fire to the flames. That's why people like Elon Musk have to do politics. You feel me?
If that's the case though, because then we would fucking throw music out the window then. If that was the case, that it influences and it makes people do things. You know what I mean?
Oh,
My
that's
thing
so
is
true.
this: you're responsible for what you do. You can't be responsible for what other people fucking do.
100%. I don't. That's why I agree with that too.
Otherwise, there's no such thing as personal responsibility, because you can always attribute the responsibility to
Something
someone else.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
That's like when the school shooter was a huge fan of this like type of what's that genre of hip hop that is like super dark?
I mean, like trap music.
No, man. It's like on some like super dark shit.
It's like death metal type shit.
Yeah, but it's hip hop.
It's like that emo
and
shit,
it's
like that
it's
trippy Red
highly
Bull shit.
electronic.
Nah,
and
damn. People that are hearing this probably know, but fuck, I forgot the name of
it's
it
like
at the
emo
moment.
rap.
Not even. It has to do with like about like killing shit and just like it's very hardcore. Like
Like
And they were trying to-
fuck school.
they were trying to blame it on like one of the musicians that the school shooter jammed to a lot. And they were trying to be like, yo, this is his fault and shit. They brought him to the news and shit. So yeah.
Oh, now that you said school shooting, I've seen this.
There was a mass
constant
shooting.
factor. Yeah, there's actually. I passed by a place.
No, there's always a
I
mass
think in
shooting.
Waco,
That's the point.
Texas. But there was a mass shooting over here.
Yeah.
But I noticed something.
Oh shit. Did Kev click?
The call is off?
I think Kev clicked or some shit. Let me call him right back. Hold on. How long are we even on? Yo, did you click?
No.
Oh, my bad, dude. That must have been me then. Dude, my battery is running low.
I'm like, yo, I didn't even want to talk anyways.
My battery is running low, so let's talk for a little bit more just because I need to have the topics at least.
Kev sounded like a female that did get a text back, dog. Like,
oh, I'm 100 with them, bro. I'm 100 with them.
Is there anything you guys want to speak to with like, in particular before I click?
Our friends in the Jewish community.
Okay, you wanna talk about the whole, you wanna talk about the Kanye shit? That's one of the topics I had.
So you fuck with Kanye?
Yeah, whoa, what do you mean do I fuck with Kanye? In what way?
Hey, yo.
Hey, yo, exactly.
No, do you fuck with the war?
With the war? With the war that he's kind of spewing?
Yeah.
I don't know if I fuck with it. I don't fuck with going against a certain type of people. I think that's fucked up, you know?
Right? Because he did say DEFCON 3 on these niggas.
Yeah, like that's pushing it way too far. Even though it was just a tweet and it's still like OD, but whatever. What's the Kanye thing I had on the topics?
Do you think he's part of the agenda?
Kanye
been on some bullshit.
Hell no, he's not part of the agenda.
That motherfucker
He has too much money.
What you mean, not anymore?
Nah, he's still on some bullshit.
He lost like 2.6 billion in
I
a
just
day.
think I think he's in a position right now where he's very easy to manipulate.
Bro, he linked up with Milo,
Yeah,
Nick Fuentes,
yeah,
and Sneeko.
yeah.
Oh shit.
Do you know who any of these people are, Kev?
Sneeko, he does podcasts, no?
He's like a streamer. He's like a huge figure in the red pill community.
Yeah.
He's like one of the fresh and fit guys, but like less aggressive about things with women and shit, whatever. More about like woke shit and like I don't know, agendas, just a bunch of dumb shit, whatever.
And what about the other two?
Milo is actually a fucking interesting guy. Like, I don't even know that much info about him. I just know that he's like from the UK.
Okay.
He's a gay conservative.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
And he got canceled for saying some shit about like being kind of not molested.
He basically said he was groomed and that gay guys when they're young they often learn a lot from like having an older man that fucking turns them out.
Yeah. And he was saying that was his experience, that he learned a lot from it, this and that. And as soon as he said that, he got canceled.
That's crazy.
And
the second guy?
Nick Fuentes, I don't know that much info about him, so I'm not gonna just assume shit. But people claim that he's a white nationalist.
People say that shit.
But
too easily nowadays.
Yeah, that's too easily. And I actually seen him on a clip of No Jumper, and I don't think he's a white nationalist. He might just have some extreme views.
No, the thing about white nationalists is that it's like such a hard topic to talk about now because people are so hard on white people.
But hold up. What Nick Fuentes, he actually agrees with the whole Kanye Jew thing, though.
Yeah, of course, bro. He's a fucking white nationalist. Because look, there's nothing wrong with being a white nationalist first and foremost.
Why is okay? Oh shit! Okay, keep on.
Because think about it like this, bro.
How much battery do I got?
Why is it okay to say black power?
I already see where this argument is going. Sure.
Yeah.
Do I think everybody should have their own views and say sure? I agree with that. You could believe in whatever the fuck you want. I don't care.
You know, okay. Now, if I'm hanging niggers, then that's another story.
You see, now then we'll have an issue. That's when it becomes more of a
right.
Listen, but if you talk about hanging crackers too, you probably would. I mean, don't get me wrong. It definitely like you would never bounce back from that shit if you said it about black people.
100%.
Exactly. Why you think I said it with an ER?
But
because it's that much of a difference.
Bro,
You know,
that
like,
whole saying nigga and saying nigger and all that shit, that's all a pick and choose shit. People will pick and choose whoever wants to say, bro, I seen a fucking interview not so long ago with Quentin Tarantino, and he literally just said it on fucking Sway in the Morning, and bro, nobody checked him. He's a white man, like, bro, like, come on. People will just pick and choose whoever could say it. That shit's redundant. That's just redundant, bro. Like,
exactly. So so because of the fact that it's done with, and people are still arguing about it, you know, it goes to tell you that we live in a pick and choose fucking era.
but that's always been a thing, though. No, everybody being pick and choose. People always pick and choose what they think is wrong.
There's a religious element to it.
What, like some ideology shit?
There's a religious element to the idea of like not saying not saying something because it's sacred or some shit like that.
Sure. I mean, like saying curse words,
like
or
not taking God's name in vain and shit like that. Right.
That is true.
It's like if you don't have the right amount of melanin, you should not utter the sacred word.
That's fucking retarded.
You know, it's
You know, but then we go back to the words, and we're having too much words. The type of melatonin that they were talking about didn't mean about the skin. You know, it's talking about the melatonin inside your nervous system, and the melatonin that we give kids to go to sleep.
Nah, that's melatonin, Kev.
Yeah, no, I mean melatonin and melatonin comes from the same fucking concept. You know,
I have no idea. I don't know.
Yeah, because the pigmentation of our skin, you know.
Okay.
And we get. Let's say you got a sausage and you put it in pause. Let's say you have some meat, pause.
Okay.
And you just put it in the barbecue, right? The longer you keep it there, the more burnt it's gonna be, you know. So the sun burns us. So black people were just here like for a long time, you know. I believe that black people were just the first humans. You know,
yeah, I agree. Maybe
they've been overcooked. They've just been overcooked. That's all. You know?
True. I mean, they've been in the song for what, years and years. So you think that's I don't know. I don't know anything about this. So I'll agree with you. Though.
I mean, I'm just saying that like we can't mention things because we're getting way off topic now. We're talking about melatonin.
Yeah.
Melatonin.
We're talking about Nick Fuentes and why it's okay to be a white nationalist.
Right. I mean, I think it's okay for them to have white pride. Like, why the fuck not? Like, we're trying to like.
I agree. Anybody could believe in what they want, bro. I would never block that.
Racism, we should just stop talking about it. Like fucking.
I mean, that for sure will probably help.
You know, if we like I remember this guy was in an interview. What's this guy's name? Like, his voice is legendary. He's black. Morgan Freeman.
Oh, okay. Dude, I'm almost, my phone's about to die, so we gotta.
Well, I want to end with this then. If your phone's about to die,
perfect.
If we wanna like eliminate racism, I think we should just stop talking about it.
He did say that. I remember. I seen a clip of that.
Yeah.
I mean, sure. I agree.
You know. And that's all I gotta say about that. So it's not that I want to be anti-Semitic and shit. It's like, yo, have you been to Hollywood?
You're just saying you believe anybody should have the right to believe in whatever they want and be able to represent it in a way, like white people saying white power, all that dumb shit, whatever.
Yeah, and like that's why I feel like our Jewish friends should just chill out with the thing. Like, don't worry, guys, we're not gonna kill y'all. Like, can y'all just accept that it's a lot of Jews in Hollywood? Like, it's a lot.
I think that's a good way to end it, Kev.
All right. Well, Kev, it was nice talking to you. You know,
I see y'all too soon, and I hope we get I'm on like a full podcast, like physically live there soon.
Come back to Miami. We gotta get this pod cracking, my boy.
Yeah, we gotta definitely get it cracked. I mean, get it cracking. Yeah.
However, we gotta get it there, right?
Now remember, don't talk to drugs.
Don't talk to drugs.
Just use them.
Just use them. All right, Kev. Nice talking to you, bro. Peace.
You too, bro. Take it easy.
Peace,
Take care, man.
Woo. So, Mike, what else you got on that list?
Jesus, bro. We did this all live, guys. I try to get Kev as loud as I can, so Dude, we could talk about things about, like, for a minute. I got so much shit, bro. That was an interesting conversation. Dude, I wanted to talk about... Excuse me. God, I had a burp. Did you see that video about Kanye talking about sacrifices in the industry?
Yeah, about how he said his mom was sacrificed.
Yeah, that was pretty eerie to watch.
Yeah. He also followed that up with, like, you know, around Hollywood, a lot of people come up missing. You know, and that's what Hollywood runs on is they want to traumatize and monetize, right?
I heard facts there, dog. I don't know.
So I mean, that was pretty explicit.
It was, I don't know, it was pretty eerie, dog, for him to say that about his mom and shit. That was
pretty explicit, yeah. You know, on the one hand, like, it's hard to interpret whatever Kanye says because
he's trying to, or like what he's trying to, like, say, really,
because he's so
means.
eccentric and he mixes like like the idea of metaphorical shit and, you know, it's almost like he's rapping when he's talking, you know.
Yeah. You kind of gotta go in with the idea that not everything is gonna be straightforward with this guy.
Yeah.
And you gotta, like, kind of read along the lines. He's very, like...
Yeah, but then, like lyrics and rap, you know, the shit he says can also have double meanings.
100%. Double entendre.
Where you don't know if he had a specific one in mind.
True. But, yeah, that video was fucking... I don't know, man. Dude, update on Kyrie. These are all topics from, like, when we didn't pod last week.
What does Kyrie have to do?
This is a minute ago. I don't know if he's done all this or by now.
He has to fuck 5 camels and put it on OnlyFans. What does he have to do?
Bruh, they're ODing, yo. Check this out. First things first. He has to apologize and condemn... First of all, apologize and then condemn the movie. Number 1. He has to pay out of his own pocket $500,000 donation to anti-hate causes, sensitivity training, anti-Semitic training, meet with ADL/Jewish leaders, and meet with Nets owner. I think the sensitivity training and the anti-Semitic would have been enough. Like, and they didn't have to like announce that he has to do all this. You know what I mean?
They're trying to, like, punish him.
Yeah, bro.
And it's almost a humiliating way of doing it because it's like we're gonna publicize and tell you got to be a good boy, or else you can't play with the other boys.
And the amount of people that were, like, talking shit about Kyrie, like, in the NBA, which was kind of fucked up, bro. Which is like, damn, bro, like, what a way to put someone down, bro. Like, in your own fucking league. Like, you guys probably go through the same things with contracts and things, or, like, it's similar. You guys
Nobody wants to say shit.
No, I know. I mean, they don't want to get canceled, dog. Kyrie, you seen when they asked Kyrie his thoughts on Thanksgiving or some shit?
No, what did
he
say?
was like, not his thoughts, but, like, they were like, because, like, after the game or something, you know, they get, like, thoughts from the player and shit, and it was Thanksgiving night, and the announcer's like, hey, Kyrie, want to say any words to everybody watching about Thanksgiving? And he was like, with a super cheesy smile on, like, hey guys, if you're enjoying Thanksgiving, which I don't celebrate, but if you're out there eating it with your family, having a good time, like, he was just, like, cheesing it up. He was like, oh, enjoy the holidays, even though I don't think it's a holiday, like, while, like, just having a flat fucking smile the whole time, like, just trying to, like, stick it.
He wanted, like, everybody to know that he was acting type shit, because
yeah, but at the same time, making it seem
like plausible deniability. If
Exactly. Yeah, like, bro, you can't tell me I didn't said anything wrong.
That was legit, bro. Come on.
Yeah, but that's the update on Kyrie, dude. Bruh, Jeff Bezos plans to give away all his money.
It'll help fund the technocracy. It's necessary. Like Bill Gates.
Is he agenda man?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said it was the reasons why he wanted to do it is because climate change and shit. Bruh.
Yeah, bro, that's the excuse.
Bruh, let's keep it a buck though right now.
Yeah.
You think there's global warming's real?
Do I think global warming is real? Yeah.
Do you think climate change is a serious issue that people should actually be focusing on? While the right are very against it.
No, I do think it's a serious issue. I just think that the problem is this. The problem is that a lot of it is sort of engineered, right? We're sort of pushed in this direction by all these industries, and they're pretty much deciding what sources of energy and how quickly they want to transition. And then they sort of make the poor bastard front the bill. So their solution is basically trust us and let us be the ones to create these smart cities for you, because all of it is going to be tied together.
But is that the only way they could do it?
That's the
only way they want to do it.
That's the only way they're willing to do it. They're not going to do it another way. They don't want to.
There's got to be another way, though.
No, there's a bunch of ways.
But they just want to do it like that.
They want to do it like that. Climate change is the big excuse. It's the big excuse for everything that they're going to push through, right?
Is it, though, or is it mostly COVID?
No, COVID is over.
Not to Klaus Schwab, whatever his name
No.
is.
That's just the.
I seen the Great Reset video, by the way, today.
Yeah, that was, look.
And it was funny. Like I get we were going through a bad time with COVID and shit,
Yeah.
but it made it seem like the world was ending.
Yeah,
and
well,
like the we have to do all this, and like, I don't know, like this guy is just like out of his mind. He wants implants in all of us.
yeah.
Why? To make sure, like, I seen the clip and he was like, oh, I could program, like he could like tell this and that just by, with the shit in our brain or whatever. Riza Islam is a guy that claims, Elon is actually part of the agenda. That Neuralink is a thing that was...
yeah, Neuralink is going to help pass it along. It's going to help.
That it was a thing that was studied from this dude from UCLA, from an old... I don't know if it was a psychiatrist or... It was some dude in some field, some doctor guy, that he was actually the first guy that was looking into Neuralink. I don't know if that's what it was called back then. And it was like on some like racist shit. Supposedly it had to do with like black people, or I forgot what it was, but anyway, climate change is the number one thing you're claiming.
It's not the number one. It's not that it's the number one issue that I have on my list. I really do think that we can solve the problems of climate change without trusting these crazy ass technocrats to use it as an excuse to sort of trap us into whatever future they want. Which is basically what they're doing. Because what they're doing is they donate their money,
Okay.
which is basically money laundering at this point, right? They get big tax cuts for donating their money. They donate their money to fund whatever they want to see in the future, right?
Okay.
And then what ends up happening is they put it in this foundation. A lot of the times they donate it in stock. So if they're the owner of a company, they donate stock, right? So they give the stocks away, they take the money. And then after that, right, basically they do whatever the fuck they want. And they sort of fund the world that they want. They have enough fuck you money to be able to say, this is how we're going to design the world. And they throw money in the direction they want the world to go in under the guise of philanthropy. I've been saying for a while that, like, the shit that Bill Gates does, it's not philanthropy, it's social engineering. Right. That's not philanthropy. And they're becoming so open about it because they're sort of aware that there's already a group of people that are stupid enough to go along with it. And I don't want to say stupid. I just think that they're pretty gullible about the way that the world works.
Ignorant about it.
Yeah, because a lot of them are actually very intelligent people. But on the other side, there's
a lot of gullible people.
And there's a lot of stupid people that are on, the side that they sort of know it because they ended up accidentally watching some YouTube video or some shit.
Right.
And they think it's because Jews or whatever the fuck they think, right?
Yeah.
Those guys it annoy me even more. But the point is this: the technocracy is something that's been in development for a very long time. Basically, Hitler was after a technocracy, and a huge part of technocracy has to do with engineering humanity. Right.
Yeah.
Engineering humanity into becoming something more than humanity. That's what transhumanism is, right? To go beyond humanity, to transcend humanity, to create something better than humanity.
You think it's the end be all after that?
I mean, that's look, to me, I can't really tell you why they want to do this, but they're telling you what they want to do. That's the thing that fucks with me so much, is like they're telling you what they want. They're telling you. They're showing you the money that they're donating, where they're donating it for, what the goals are. they're telling you. They show you what a smart city is, for example.
Right.
And they say this is what we need. But what they're saying is what we need is for you to be constantly under watch, using technology, using implants, so that you won't have to deal with any of the bad guys. If you're a good guy, you don't have a problem. You'll be safe, because
social credit scores.
Yeah, that type of bullshit, right?
China.
They love that. Yeah, China is more of a technocracy than a communist state at this point. I mean, the way that they work is completely technocratic.
I've been seeing clips on Twitter where like there's been protests again.
Oh yeah, and I mean,
they used everybody's QREC code bullshit and turned it red. I guess that's like you can't do shit. You're on lockdown mode.
Yeah, they do that type of shit. They already have smart cities in China, right? And in Singapore, that's probably the most well-controlled dictatorship because of the fact that like it's so well integrated and their people are so domesticated.
Like they're just kind of just brainwashed to it type shit.
They're so okay
with it,
with the fact that they don't really have the rights.
No, that can't be true.
And what they have basically is like you can choose your career or whatever, right? And you can go out and have fun and things look pretty. We have a very nice looking city. But like really try to do shit the way that you would want to. Like really try to express yourself openly. Like really try to say that you don't like the way the government is running shit, that you don't like being, under watch, that you don't like technology being used to stalk you.
That is fucking
and see
weird.
if you don't end up with a problem. The problem is they give them enough nice toys and they give them enough food, just like a little fucking rat in a cage.
Yeah.
And the complaining stops.
I'm pissed that like communists and socialists out there ignore those parts. Every time I hear a fucking debate, they always like say the best things and not even the best things. Like they always come with some like fairy tale shit.
Yeah.
And then they very rarely speak on like the negatives. Or like Richard Wolff, his thing, I've been watching so much Richard Wolff videos that like I guess like this is just his like speech or like whatever this is like whatever his point when he brings to the debate. Yeah, I don't know who's behind this, dog. I don't know. You know who those people are?
Nah.
But Richard Wolff's point overall with socialism is that I actually wrote it down, like, just to make sure. Hold up. Like, overall, he says that there's, like, many versions of socialism.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta put a time and date on it, that, like, there's so many, like, it's so diverse, and, like, you gotta, like, he never really gives, like,
He's sort of like when you ask Jordan Peterson about God.
He never gives, like, a full-blown answer. Like,
Yeah.
if you just ask, like, he'll always be like, okay, well, then, in the 1960s and this and that, and then he'll just go on and start talking about how fucking the Soviet Union did it and how they had the highest,
About how they had this great growth, which is bullshit. That's not true.
He always says the greatest growth in economy and history, and he'll say
incredibly inefficient and killed millions of people.
Yeah, apparently that was called FAMO or some shit. What was that called? Is that Stalin when he starved everybody?
You mean the Holodomor?
That's what it's called?
The famine in Ukraine?
Famine. That shit. That's when they starved everybody, right? Apparently, that's not very true.
Get the fuck... Bro, that's like Holocaust denial shit.
A lot of socialists claim...
I know, but it's... Bro, that is stupid territory to be walking on, like, for real.
Really?
Like, completely stupid territory,
Like,
bro.
there is plain wooden...
Think about what they did. They went over there, they took all of their food, and they made it illegal for them to leave. They started eating their dogs, and they fucking took away the animals so that they couldn't eat the fucking animals.
See, I wish I knew what his fucking his argument was.
They tried to escape. They either deported them back to Ukraine or they fucking killed them.
So why do socialists come up with these fucking ideas?
Because they don't give a fuck.
Genuinely, all of them
No, bro. It's like you gotta understand, like, with a religious person, right?
It's like that then?
In the Bible, you see that, like, in the story of Noah was like, God was pissed off at the world. He was like, you guys are mad wicked. I don't fuck with any of you, so I'm gonna drown all of you except this, like, fucking really old guy and his family.
Okay.
And then the Christians are like, who are you to judge God? You know, it's like,
Oh my God. Even though that's fucking right.
You know?
I feel you. Listen, I actually had a question. Do you think people are like more along the line, like born a certain way, like with views?
I think they're genetically more predisposed to certain personality traits than others, but it's flexible in a certain way to a degree.
So not really then.
There's degrees to it.
Okay. So you think based on genetically how someone is overall, it would make them lean more to a certain, like, let's say they're a liberal.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, it would make them lean towards. I mean, there's a lot of research on that, on like how, for example, personality, like the connection between personality and political beliefs.
Has to be, right?
And there's a strong correlation. For example, like people that are really high in openness,
Okay.
like openness to experience,
More liberal?
they tend to be more liberal.
Okay.
And then people that are very high in conscientiousness, like being very like hardworking and being very organized.
They're
and
more
shit like that,
conservative?
they're more conservative, right?
Yeah, I always thought about that. I always like, that's interesting though.
But there's also the other facts of the like, for example, if you talk about genes, right?
Okay.
Like, yeah, genes definitely
Play a part.
They play a part in
And everything.
and everything.
Yeah.
And not just a part. I mean, without the genes, there's no you.
Right.
So it's like impossible to like start the game without even talking about genes because there's no person to talk about.
Right. It's based on your parents. That's who you are. Like whatever genes.
Right, and some genes are more sensitive to the environment than other genes. So say somebody that has, for example, a predisposition to depression, right?
Okay.
They might have some genes that combine to predispose them to depression, but it might be a predisposition where the environment has a huge role. In other words, if they're in a very good environment, they might end up being very happy. If they're in a very bad environment, they might end up really depressed. Whereas another person, for example, might have it in a way where it doesn't matter the environment, you know, they might get a little bit sad or whatever, they're not really going to have clinical depression. It's not going to happen. They're
Damn. Okay. Yeah, I see what you mean. More of Rich. Oh, go ahead. My bad.
No, go ahead. Fuck it.
No, I was gonna just bring up more Richard Wolff shit he said that I would just see your thoughts on it.
What else did he
There's
say?
nothing unique about capitalism and markets. Slavery had markets, some in feudalism. That was one of his other points, and I'm like,
I mean, think about what a market is, right? Market is just like the collection of buyers and sellers of a service or a product. It's just all the people that are buying or selling a service or a product.
to his point, he was just saying that there's nothing unique about markets with capitalism. I forgot what along the
I mean,
lines.
there's nothing. I mean, you could do that with all kinds of shit, and it still wouldn't prove your point. Like, what does it have to do whether or not it's unique or not? Like, who gives a fuck? What matters is whether or not the shit works.
I didn't. My man, Richard Wolff was sending like the way he would like try Friedman. Like he would be like as soon after David
We
Friedman.
live in two different worlds,
Yeah.
clearly. I mean,
After David Friedman's rebuttal, I just couldn't distinguish what world we're living in
Yeah,
right now,
yeah.
and I'm like, yo, what's up with this man?
Yeah.
Like very passive aggressive
Yeah,
shots being
yeah.
thrown, and he does that in a lot of the debates, and I'm like,
that's his like catchphrase at this point. He says that shit all the time. Yeah,
dude, workers co-op.
workers co-op. Yeah,
What's up with that bullshit? That's his that's his fucking little thing. Like he just loves.
He's obsessed with the workers co-op. Yeah, it's because it's a way of introducing socialism in a way where it sounds unique. It's like, first of all, dog, even Marx thought that like workers co-op is like, bruh, like that's not what we want.
He vouches for that shit so much though in debates. Like, what's special about workers co-op?
I feel like he thinks that, you know, a market is not something. Like a market is something that if you have the right system, you can make it very nice so that you don't have to worry about the forces of the market, like natural tendencies. Like, for example, you know, when you have a market, like let's say, for example, something like, let's say there's a hurricane, right?
Okay.
And there's, you know, a certain amount of toilet paper.
Okay.
And everybody rushes to the store and grabs toilet paper or water, for example, right?
Right.
They all rush to the store and they grab a shitload of water, right? If the price of water is at the same price it always is, you run out more quickly, right?
Right.
If you raise the price, you're going to have more water there because some people are going to be like, maybe I'll just buy one instead of two.
They're pushing it, yeah.
Or, right. Now, that's just human nature. That's like we have needs and we have wants, and then the market, what it says is, if you're willing to buy it at this price, then I'll do it. If you're not willing to buy it, then I go out of business, so I have to lower the price.
His other take, while he shitted on Milton Friedman's whole, forgot what video it was exactly. It might have been the pencil one. Mm-hmm. He said he didn't like it. He doesn't like the fact that Milton Friedman claims that all people are greedy, that it's all just human nature. He was saying that, like, that it doesn't have to be like that, that why are we, something along the lines of that, and he, because there was like a podcast that had him on, and I seen a quick clip of it.
That's some hilarious shit to say.
And he was like talking shit about Milton Friedman and like the shit like that whole thing about human nature, about us, like the shit we do. Yeah. It's just in us, it's like hierarchies and shit like that.
He should check out some psychological experiments, see how full of shit he is.
And I was just like, damn, he's trying Milton Friedman? Like, I didn't... But yeah, that's just some Richard Wolff bullshit I've been watching, like, throughout the week, dude. He's entertaining to watch, dude. Like, socialists are entertaining. Like, they be saying some shit, dude.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm just like, I try to see everybody's point. I try to see, like, okay, like, maybe this and that, or... It's weird, though. But, let me see. What do you got any topics, bro? What'd you bring to the table today, dog?
Yeah, I got you. I'm strapped.
I got a lot more, bro. Like, I could just keep on going. I don't even know where to go on. Like, the whole fucking... My man, the troll god is back.
Yeah. Well, we talked about a couple of these things. So, for example, one of the things we mentioned is this tweet by Elon Musk, right?
What did he say?
Where he was showing someone called Les Knight, who is the founder of the voluntary human extinction movement.
Oh my God, I'm glad you have that.
And he sort of mentioned that the Earth now has 8 billion humans, and he sort of wishes that there were no humans, and he sort of wants everyone to just voluntarily just opt out, just sort of like, I don't know, suicide. Maybe like commit suicide, or just wait till you die but don't have any kids, or, you know.
It's a movement that's actually on Reddit as well, and I seen comments, and these people are really just like willing to just die. Like, they just want to like...
Yeah.
It's better for the animals. It's better for the environment. And I'm like, this can't be for real. Like,
yeah, these people are anti-human.
And I'm like, dude, is there any fucking like, they have memes about like, I forgot what the meme was. It was some shit about abortion. Like, I forgot, you're against abortion or some shit. Like, no, I actually just want to kill everybody. Like, it was just some dumb shit like that.
That's some school shooter shit.
Yeah, like, and there's a lot
But this guy outdid all of the school shooters. Like, this guy wants...
What's his name again, by the way?
His name is Les Knight.
What an idiot this guy is. Please tell me some info, dog.
Listen, that's I know of these sorts of people. Like, for example, the transhumanists, some of them think, like, why don't we just download our consciousness into something that's, like, way better, way superior, so we don't have to be human anymore. We'll just be robots and shit like that.
Sure, go for it. See how that works for you.
Thinking to myself, like, dog, you guys need a hobby. Like, you got to do something interesting in life, because you guys have fucking issues, dude.
A lot of those guys don't get pussy, bro.
Yeah, there's a serious problem going on there.
We need to get the world to just have... I mean, not according to Elon. You shouldn't be having sex if you're not procreating. Which I get his point. It's just he thought of it like on some like...
That's some shit they say in the Bible.
Like on some funny shit, like, damn, think about it. Like, we all just want to fuck. Like, just because it makes our fucking limbs feel good.
But he did say something, like, for example, this was in the New Order of Barbarians.
What was?
This idea of reproduction without sex and sex without reproduction.
Oh, that's based.
Which is pretty much the point of, in many ways, like Planned Parenthood, that sort of
pretty much
tells you what it's about, right?
Yeah.
So he talks about the amount of research that has gone into, like, being able to have sex without having kids, right? Without getting pregnant, right?
That's whack.
Yeah. So
No coochie?
Here's
Come
this
on.
other thing. Like, if you're an there's a quote that you sent me.
Oh my
some
god! I
fucking,
can't believe you got it, dude. I forgot about it.
this
Go,
guy
go.
went full retard. He says, if you're an atheist, you believe in science. I don't know this guy's name. Do you know his name?
Rizza Islam.
Right. This is a guy who apparently said, if you're an atheist, you believe in science. If you believe in science, then you believe in the seen power that is powered by the unseen source. I want to just address this. Apparently, this guy doesn't know what an atheist is, because he says if you're an atheist, you believe in science. I'm thinking to myself, what the fuck? Where did you get this idea from?
Dude, this was a video I seen when Rizza Islam was on No Jumper. And let me just tell you, this man, entertaining to watch. He's like a huge, he looks up to Minister
Farrakhan?
extremely.
Oh, then he's very retarded. Then
Extremely. He looks up to him. I will give him some stuff. He is against a lot of the agenda stuff. He's like, he knows about Klaus Schwab and shit like that.
Yeah, but that's just like, this is the thing.
That's kind of common now,
The
right?
thing with the internet is that now a lot of stupid people have access to like very well made videos that show interesting things.
True.
Some of which are actual facts.
Right.
And then you have very stupid people who know some things that very intelligent people don't know.
Right.
But the thing
Right,
is,
he could be full of shit and still be knowledgeable of these things.
that's the thing.
Right. I know what you're trying to say. No, trust me. Like, dude, him and Lupe had a full-blown 2-hour debate that I listened to, and bruh, let me tell you right now, Lupe is that dude.
Yeah.
Like, he is, I respect him so much because he does not give a fuck who you think you are. Like, he will stand on his shit. And no matter what, like, he's not on some like goofy shit, you know what I mean? They had a whole debate and about like vaccines and shit. And Lupe for the longest has been super with it. Like, he believes in the science, everything, that the vaccines are good for you, this and that. And Rizza Islam is like completely against it. Like, he's like, fuck that shit. He talks about shit about the vaccine courts. I don't know if you know about that. Like, all the money that's been sent out because of vaccine shit or whatever. And whatever. Point is, Lupe was just like trying to tell Rizza Islam that he says a lot of things that are extremely vague. And he was talking about the vaccine courts, that because he learned it about Rizza Islam. He had said something about the vaccine courts was paying out a lot of fucking people money for shit that was going wrong after the vaccine. And then Lupe was just like correcting him, saying that while that could be true, there was a lot of people that were settled just for like simple things, for like improper like shot, like they shot it wrong. Or,
I mean, think about it. Like Pfizer, they've had bro, in the past, like this way before COVID, like they had a $2.1 billion settlement before then. So
yeah, and it could be for millions of things.
Yeah,
like,
so,
but it was a lot of them was for like.
I don't think that tells you much about whether or not the vaccine is effective. Otherwise, everybody would just be lining up to get some bread from Pfizer.
Have you heard about Died Suddenly?
Yeah.
And it's like a film, and it's like
that's some funny shit. No, but the thing, all that shit is correlational, which is sort of what fucks me up because it's difficult to study. It's not like you could just give a guy a vaccine and wait and see if he dies early.
Their whole thing is that these people are dying randomly.
Yeah, and they're saying it's because of that.
Yeah.
But
I just seen it today, like not so long ago.
I think there's a lot of things that have changed in the past few years that could be contributing to that. So think about it. For example, what about the virus itself?
What about it?
What if people get coronavirus and that's what's making them die like that instead of the vaccine? How do you know it's one and not the other?
I mean, yeah. I mean, that's too hard to study though. Like, how are you?
That's what I'm saying. It's
no,
like,
trust me. I'm not against or with the Died Suddenly shit, but I see what you're trying to say. It could be a reach. It's like, how are you gonna really?
Like, all right, let me give you like cases of ridiculous correlations, right? Like,
sure. I haven't heard of all these yet, so give me
like,
some.
You look. Some of these are legit. Some of them are made up. For example, right? If you see, for example, that in places where I'll put this in places where people eat a lot of ice cream.
Sure.
There's a lot of heat strokes.
Okay. Because of all the people eating ice cream.
And so if you just looked at those two variables, you would say eating ice cream causes heat stroke. It's like, no, that doesn't make any sense.
Okay, that's what you're trying to say?
But then you look and it's like, oh, where do people eat ice cream a lot? Oh, in places where it's hot as fuck, where people get heat strokes.
So it's just perspective?
No, it's not perspective. It's that you would have to do an experiment, for example, to be able to prove that it's one variable causing another. Not that you looked at one variable, looked at another. Right? Without testing how one affects the other.
Sure.
It's like for antidepressants, for example, you have to do a clinical trial. Right, you would have to you get the one group on the medication, you get another group on a placebo, which is basically a sugar pill, right? And you don't tell them what they're taking. You let them know beforehand. You might.
I think you've told me this before. Yeah,
right,
yeah.
and so you compare one group to the other, so you can see whether or not the antidepressant
is really the
cause
Okay.
of any changes in the symptoms, right? Okay, well, but you can't just do that out of the blue. You get one variable, and then you compare it with another variable. And you don't isolate the other variables. You have to isolate, because otherwise there's a whole bunch of shit that could be part of the equation that we're not gathering. So that's the difference between correlation, which means there's an association with two things. And causation, which means that one is causing the other.
What's his name? David Hume would say different.
Hume? Yeah, Hume, but it's like, who can solve that puzzle?
Yeah, I seen like a quick video about skepticism, and it's like, bruh, at that point it's like, what's the point of even like...
Yeah, there's not much more to investigate after that, right?
Like, just forget about even questioning anything. Just like live your life fucking plain.
Yeah.
And just like, yo, fuck it, this is life and there's nothing to question.
I have a criticism about James Lindsay.
Ooh, the ape man?
Who actually ended up getting his Twitter account back.
Shout out to James Lindsay.
Which I find good.
Lindsay for getting his Twitter back.
Okay, here's something do you know what the NXIVM cult is?
I don't, so you're gonna have to inform me.
So NXIVM cult is basically this cult.
Dude, let me take off these headphones.
NXIVM cult is basically a cult that started, where they ended up, it's sort of, in a way, they had a Scientology approach to it, because you know how Scientology try to get all these famous actors and Hollywood people?
It's called NXIVM?
NXIVM.
Okay.
So NXIVM did the same thing. They went and they got a bunch of like actresses and shit. And it was basically, it's a sex cult. And the man who was in charge of it, he sort of ended up going to prison. And he ended up going to prison because he was running a fucking sex cult, and he was doing all sorts of crimes and fucking with people. And, you know, some of his charges had to do with, like, you know, illicit acts with a minor.
What's his name?
And shit like that. I forget his name.
Okay.
Something Rainier, some shit like that. But here's one of the issues, right?
Okay.
So there is a woman whose name is Nikki Klein, right?
Oh, man.
And Nikki Klein,
where you're about to get here.
She is a member of the NXIVM cult, right?
He took a picture with her, and it's been all over Twitter.
No,
now.
He had a conversation with her. He still does, like, he has no problem with this chick. He knows who the fuck she is.
He hangs out with her.
He knows who she is. Like, this is not so she's a member of the NXIVM cult, right?
Okay.
She defends the leader of the NXIVM cult to this fucking day, who was actually a human trafficker. Right, he was found guilty of sexual exploitation of a child, child pornography, and a shitload of other fucking charges. What I'm thinking is, why is he okay with this girl if he's thinking about how groomers or something that you want to stop?
He's Mr. OK Groomer.
Yeah, what's up with that?
What the damn? This is facts though.
This is facts.
What's her name? Nikki Klein.
Yeah, Nikki Klein. Yeah.
And you said she was a member of NXIVM.
Bro, she still defends the guy.
But what's her argument, though?
She still defends the guy that started that fucking cult.
But what does she say? Like, oh, yeah, hey, raping school, child pornography school. She doesn't say that. Like, what does she say? Obviously, she has something. She has an argument.
She just fucks with the guy. She doesn't fucking say that he did any of that shit or any of that shit.
He didn't really do it.
Who gives a fuck at the end of the day? She defends the guy.
Damn. And what are James Lindsay's thoughts on this?
He hasn't really said much. What he really said, he sort of laughs at it the same way he laughs at any criticism on Twitter, because you can't really argue with that many people on Twitter. Because you would lose your fucking mind, right?
And this Nikki Klein chick, what is she? Does she have like a podcast?
She's an actress.
Oh, I don't even know about her. I don't even know who she is.
There's a lot of the actresses, a lot of really famous people were, especially women,
Dude,
right?
Nikki Klein?
Were in the NXIVM cult.
I'm about to search her up, bro. What movie was she in, dude?
You can look her up. The point is this, man.
This chick?
Yeah.
No way.
Makes me very curious.
That's the first. Is Nicki Klein still part of Nexium? That's the first. Wow.
Yeah. So I don't really want to throw too much shade on Lindsay because it's possible that he just fucked up.
And just didn't know.
But I just don't know what the fuck is going on. It's.
I mean, yeah, I can't really speak. I don't know much about it, but
I don't. At the same time, it's like, bro, you know at this point. I mean, you've been criticized all over for it.
He's Mr.
And you seem pretty chill about it, so that's pretty odd.
Well, how long has he been criticized for it?
Since he had that.
It's been a recent thing, or?
Yeah, I mean, he did that as far as I know, like a few months ago already. Anyways,
I'm gonna look into it.
But yeah. Let's see what we can dig on that.
Nexium, what the fuck?
So, here's something interesting, because I've been thinking a lot. I want to open up this question for you, right?
I'm all ears.
And I asked the question pretty much to Kevin already.
Okay.
And the question starts basically, it's an oversimplified version of the question, but which came first, right? Did consciousness create the universe, or is the universe a physical, material thing, right?
That's a hard one, man. That's like asking, is God real?
Because some people see the world, and what they see is a bunch of matter, and they see themselves as like this conscious thing, this sort of...
Okay, I see what you mean.
This sort of light that receives everything from the outside world, that what you are is this thing in the back of your head, right? And
the other side would be the whole world is just a whole fucking conscious itself, like a...
Well, no, I mean, in the perspective of most people, they see like the material world, and then they see themselves as like this consciousness that's in the world, right?
Okay.
So I wanted to get a little bit into how the mysteries address this.
What's his name? William Cooper?
No. The mystery religions. He covers it a lot, but
this is what he covers, right?
But I wanted to cover it from a little bit of the perspective of Freemasonry.
Okay.
Especially from the Scottish Rite.
Okay, I'm listening.
So, for example, if you take a look at the second degree of the ancient and accepted Scottish Rite of Freemasonry, right? All right. You'll learn that in ancient times, over in the Orient, all religion was pretty much considered a mystery, and philosophy was completely a part of religion. There was no divorce between religion and philosophy, right?
Okay.
So the regular religion, the one that the masses had, right?
Sure.
The stuff that normal people believed, it basically consisted of taking like the symbols and the allegories, the stories of religion, and they took them and they considered them to be literally true. Right. So like, oh, he really did chop him up into a million pieces and then
walk on water, all that shit. All right.
And so they basically wasted their lives worshiping these imaginary gods.
Okay.
Right. So you learn that in the second degree of Freemasonry, right?
That's what you learned? Okay.
So, today we basically learn through books and lectures. That's the way that we learn today, right? If you go to university, you got lectures, you got books. You use those to prepare for an exam, right? But back then, people learned through the priest who taught the initiates of the mystery schools, and he taught them through symbols, through rites and rituals, and through exhibitions, right? And the reason he taught them that way is not only was that more entertaining, but it also felt more meaningful when you actually received the message. If something is taught to you as a mystery, and then you go through all of this work to get to the bottom of the mystery,
it feels like you accomplished something type shit.
And it's not about the feeling of accomplishment. It's about feeling like you uncovered a puzzle that tells you something about the universe itself.
I see what you mean. It's like when I'm making beats and I like learn some new shit and I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
I could have did this whole time. I see what you mean.
Yeah. So here's something else you learn in the early degrees of Masonry, right?
Okay.
Of the Scottish Rite, at least. You learn that Masonry is the successor of the mystery schools, right?
All right.
They're the continuation of the mystery schools. They teach in the same way. So Masonry teaches philosophy and morality in an incremental process of allegory. So allegory basically being
like all scattered type shit?
Like stories and pictures that have a hidden meaning, right?
Oh, okay.
And in the fourth degree, the Mason is asked not to feel disappointed if the first 3 degrees felt like they really didn't contain much of anything, right?
Wow.
Because the thing is that in Masonry, they sort of lie about the meaning. They
a lot of shit.
They lie about the meaning of the symbols and the stories in certain degrees. And then it gives a new interpretation of the symbols and stories when you get to higher degrees.
Got it.
And so it teaches by using the same symbols and then sometimes new ones. And they sort of alter your perception as you progress as a Mason, right? So an allegory basically is a story, a poem, a picture, and you can interpret it to reveal a hidden meaning, right? And that's sort of how they teach, and that's how the mystery's taught, right?
It's like some fucking Quentin Tarantino film shit. It's like however you want to perceive it, like the treasure in Pulp Fiction. When they keep opening it.
Right.
It's like it's whatever your mind really wants to or however you just perceived it.
There's a mysticism element to it.
Right.
And the idea that you can't really there's some things that you really cannot capture with words, and that they're not sufficient with words because the message won't be received, because it requires more than just interpretation through just words. And so you give the person an experience, you give them symbols,
gotcha.
You give them rights.
Isn't there a whole argument about just words or how do I even describe this? Hold up. Words are doing us how do I say this?
They're not sufficient
enough for us to be having certain type of conversations or
some people say that, and then it becomes difficult because is it because then the person doesn't really know. Is it because I'm not good enough to be able to describe what I want to say using words, or is it that this is actually something that you can't really get to the bottom of it? You can't really communicate that level of information with words,
right? Like that certain object or topic that you're trying to.
Yeah.
Right.
So if I told you, for example, if I went ahead and I told you. If I walked into my room somewhere, right? If I walked into a room and I was telling you about what that room looked like, right? And I start telling you little by little every bit of detail, and we really went over it, really as best as we could.
Yeah.
And I had you drawing the room and shit.
Sure.
It's how similar would that room look like, the one that you have in your head, after I explained it to you as best as I could? How similar would that be in your mind to the actual room?
It's going to be a little off.
It's going to be a little off,
no
right?
matter what, probably.
So there's a limitation to words, right? And that you describe it a certain way, and then because what you're doing is you're trying to transmit. You're basically, the way that I would almost describe it, it's because this is how amazing language is, the ability, right, to do this. Basically, what you're doing is, you're teleporting thoughts using sound.
Teleporting thoughts.
You're teleporting thoughts using sound, right? That's what it is. Now, the thoughts are limited in that the thoughts are only used through symbols. And the symbols are words. Right?
I'm listening.
And human beings are very open to symbols. They understand symbols very well. Which is why in the mystery religions and in Masonry, the successor of the mystery religions, they use them so much. And so I come back to this idea of what is this idea of which one is the truth, right? Is it true that consciousness is what's really out there, and what we're experiencing is actually a product of consciousness, or is it a product of a material, external, physical world, a universe? Right, that's made up of matter and made up of all these things that we observe. And then the reason why it's something to think about, because if you ask the ancient Egyptians, they definitely thought all of the existence, the fact that anything exists, is sort of a miracle. Because if you really think about it, what they saw was that it was consciousness.
Okay. That was actually gonna be my answer, but
that's what they saw.
I don't know. That's a hard one though. Like,
Think about the way that you see the world, though. Like even even in philosophy, like idealism is pretty much what comes close to that.
Okay.
In philosophy, right?
isn't that what Hegel was trying to do?
So Hegel, I would say yes,
Okay.
because he's basically interpreting it through ideas, sort of like a collective mind.
Right. What was it? What was the acronym for it? Geist or some shit?
The Geist.
Geist
yeah.
or some shit? I forgot what it stands
the
for.
Geist is a tricky word because it, like, sometimes they translate it as spirit, and other times they translate it as mind.
Okay. Depending on what?
The translation.
Oh, okay. I see what you mean.
See, some things are lost in translation.
So that's an issue right there then.
Yeah, it's
Because
true.
that's definitely different. Like,
So, but you could definitely be, because it's just a German word. You would be able to explain it to people properly if you took the time to sort of like,
right.
explain it in detail what's meant by it in English.
There's
right?
a bunch of sayings in German and shit, right?
Yeah. So, if you look at it from the way that the Egyptians saw the world, basically it was consciousness. And what we're seeing is this big expansion of consciousness.
Okay.
And basically, the way to see yourself, right? It's like, first of all, they thought it was amazing. Consciousness created all of this. And basically, you are consciousness.
Okay.
I mean, that's what you are,
Yeah.
right? And so this idea of this separate physical thing that isn't consciousness, it was sort of
They're like, nah.
it was a ridiculous distinction almost, in a way. If you think about it like this, for example, right? Look at it like this, right? You have pure consciousness, just the fact that you're having an experience.
Sure, that's
That's what makes it consciousness,
Right.
right? Even though it's not really something that we have a scientific definition for.
there's no way to really put your hand on it. There's like no way to describe it.
No,
Like, it's just
yeah,
it's just in the air. It's living. It's like
Right, it's sort of like seeing your own eyes without
Type shit, yeah.
using your reflection, right?
right.
So the thing that happens with consciousness, though, is that if you think about just the fact that you're just having an experience, and then you look out, and if you were taking the materialist version of it, right, looking at it in terms of like the external world existing and we just perceive it,
Right.
think about it like this, right? You have your senses, and for example, vision, which is probably the easiest one to use because we get most of our information relying on that one.
Yeah.
Your vision, you end up, right, seeing the external world, right, through the eyes, and then it gets interpreted, right, through the occipital lobes. It ends up being crossed, warped in a million different ways through the rods and cones, right, in the eye. There's a blind area that we don't even notice most of the time unless we do something specifically to point it out, like in an experiment.
Okay.
And then what ends up happening is you see an interpretation of the world.
Sure.
Because what happens is that it's not like your eyes are just some fucking mirror that you see the
Right.
reflection of the world through. No, what ends up happening is you see a hallucination.
Which is trippy.
Because it literally is a fucking hallucination. Everything that we experience is a hallucination, based on...
Can that be proved?
That's 100%. That's where the science is right now. It's all a hallucination. I mean, look at the way that you get your senses. You get it through the eyes. If there was a disconnection between your eyes and your occipital, the connections to the occipital lobe,
What is the occipital lobe?
that's just the back of the head where vision is processed through the brain.
Okay.
So if those two are not connected properly, you'll still get all the input. You just won't see shit.
Yeah, you'll just be blind. Yeah.
And so it's back there, that process back there, that causes the hallucination based on the way that the cells fire, that lead to you having that experience. This is the scientific
As we're having right
perspective. And that happens with all of your senses. They get some stimuli from the world. For example, your ears, right? They get these vibrations from around and they convert it into neurological stimuli, right? They convert it into sort of chemical and electric signals
now. Right.
that somehow lead to you having an experience.
And us hearing that car that just passed by.
All of that, everything, all of it is a fucking hallucination.
And it's just working simultaneously.
Yes.
All the fucking time.
All the time. There's none of it is the real fucking... There's no way to know the real fucking thing. If it exists, there is no way to know it. All we see is indirectly. All we see is the neurological, the brain hallucination that we receive through the senses. There's no direct...
And then again, everybody's brain is different. Everybody might have a different perceived view of it.
Maybe, right?
Right? Could be.
Because I'm trying to do something because it's difficult to do because on the one hand, I'm sort of acknowledging the limitations of using our senses to try to understand an external world.
Sure.
On the other hand, I'm using the science that's based on the trust of those senses.
So it's kind of...
to try to explain it.
Yeah, okay, I see what you just said.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's at worst a contradiction, at best a paradox.
I was gonna say that could be either or, yeah.
Right.
Isn't that's trippy though?
Yeah, but it's the truth though.
So we're just trusting based off these dudes, whatever their hallucination was. And
yeah, well, the thing is, you can see the hallucination and compare with your hallucination.
Yeah.
And then you talk. Like, for example, this is how you know, for example, if a schizophrenic is, having a
fucking nightmare.
A hallucination or not, right? If they're talking to someone and there's no one there,
then yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah.
Right, and then everybody agrees there's nobody there,
Yeah.
so we just assume there's probably nobody there,
Yeah, my man is bugging, like.
Right, so.
Okay, I see what you mean.
And then you do that with the data, for example.
Right.
And so you look at a brain scan. I mean, we see the world differently according to the scientific model to some fucking degree.
Yeah.
But not to such a large degree. Otherwise, it's like a neurological condition or some shit. Because think about it like this. Doctors, for example, right? I'm sure they have very different perspectives of the world. And maybe you remember that dress that got really famous where some people were arguing about the color of the dress?
What? Tell me something about that. That's a good ass point right there.
Right. Well, that basically has that shows you to a degree how differently we perceive the world. Right.
That's actually a good point, dude. That fucking dress, I swear I did not see it blue.
Yeah.
And people would fucking swear to me that they would see that shit blue, and I'm like, yo, I cannot see that.
Yeah.
Like,
well, the idea that this thing called blue exists, it's really sort of there's no evidence of anything called blue. What we call blue.
All right, wait, hold up. Now you're tripping me out.
What we call blue is like the fucking how do I put this?
The color we all agree on, the hallucination?
The frequency of the light, for example, right?
Okay, I see what you're trying to say.
So we have the spectrum of light, right? And we only see a tiny part of the shit that's in that spectrum of light.
I see what you're
There's
trying to say.
a bunch of that shit that we don't get to perceive. Our senses just don't have it. They don't have the ability to perceive that.
So some do?
But what we call red and when we see red or blue, what we're doing is that's just our brain's interpretation of the light frequency. How it looks, if it looks like anything, which I don't think it does, because sight, right? Okay. Sight is not something that is necessarily out there really in the real world. It's not that the world looks like anything. Sight is just a sense that we have. It's a way of interpreting. Right.
That's okay, but how does that? Some people said that they weren't seeing it blue though.
Yeah, they might not have been
versus people that are actually saying, "Yo, I see it blue," or I don't know.
Yeah, they have. I mean, there's like I said, there is diversity.
Okay.
In the way that we perceive the world, but not to such a high degree. That's why I was talking about a doctor, for example. If a doctor, he might have a different perspective from another doctor, but if he looks at a fucking brain scan and there's a tumor there...
It's a tumor there.
He sees a tumor there.
There is no...
No matter what answer he gave on that fucking blue dress shit.
Right. That's a trip, dude.
So...
The whole idea that...
But it really is just a hallucination. Like, don't kid yourself.
That is wild.
Either that or you don't accept the way that the scientific paradigm is telling us the world works. And if you don't, then I don't know what you replace it with.
There's nothing else, really.
For me, having a psychedelic experience sort of tells you that everything is pretty much made of consciousness. That everything is spirit, consciousness. which is why it's probably so confusing, the word Geist, because it's translated as spirit and it's translated as mind, which is why sometimes describing psychedelic experiences is so difficult, because sometimes you might say something like made out of spirits, like what the fuck does that even mean? You're an atheist.
That's what I was gonna say, yeah.
And made up of what do you call it,
you feel that's a contradiction that you go through?
Of consciousness. No, I don't think it's a contradiction. I think it's an experience. I feel like there's a such thing as a spiritual experience. That doesn't necessarily mean that
doesn't include spirits?
It includes the experience of feeling like there are spirits, right? Like feeling, like having that experience of like actually communicating with some other shit that's much bigger than you and that is you at the same time. Because there's this thing about psychedelic experiences in that they create a contradiction. They make you experience two things that are impossible and that you know are impossible, and it really fucks with you. So for example, one of the things is like you're dead. There's ego death. You're dead.
But you're really alive.
But you're alive and you're God and you're everything all at the same time. So I'm everything and I'm nothing at the same time.
Do you think that the fact that religions used psychedelics or has any connection really?
Yeah.
But even though you're an atheist?
I mean, I made a YouTube video called Religion and Psychedelics.
And what are your thoughts on it?
I don't really remember much about the video. What I do remember is some of the different works that have been out there, but I find it difficult to believe that it didn't have a significant influence. In fact, there's John Marco Allegro. He wrote a book called The Sacred Mushroom and the Cross. And that book basically, he was this famous theologist guy, but basically, and it sounds fucking hilarious, but he says basically that Jesus was a mushroom.
Oh, you told me this before. That is based.
And he talks about it in terms of fertility cults.
Fertility cults?
Fertility cults. So if you remember how we talked about in ancient mythology, how like there would be this idea that like the sky is the father.
Oh, yeah.
And earth is the mother.
That's the William Cooper shit.
And he sort of makes it rain on that bitch. Mm-hmm. And that bitch grows plants and shit, right? Fertility cults, they had the sexuality, they understood the sexuality of, this is why I say allegory, because stories and myths and shit like that are the best way
to really make someone believe or...
to explain things to people.
Yeah.
To give them an idea of the world. Uh-huh. And one of the things that happens in this idea of the fertility cult is that you have the idea of obviously for male and female fertility. People can reproduce. Mm-hmm. And then there's also the idea of like the earth is fertile, but it needs the seed of the sky of God in order to grow, right? And so one of the big concerns actually back then, if it didn't rain, was that the plants would not grow, people would die, and there would not be enough people to carry on into the next generation and take care of the elderly, which would be a problem.
Okay.
So this is the idea of that fertility. So what happens when the earth is fertile? You get spores.
Shit starts growing.
You get mushrooms. Sometimes it's happened to me sometimes where I see like it rains a lot, and then I go outside and it's like, holy shit, that's a fucking mushroom on the ground now.
So there's connection there.
Yeah, there's a lot of moisture.
There's connection there.
That makes it happen.
And then people take these shrooms.
Yeah.
Then they have fucking psychedelic trips.
Yeah.
Then they start meeting God.
Yeah.
And then...
The Bible is also very cryptic.
About their drugs?
And has a lot of numerology. And in fact, it's sort of a code in many ways. And if you look at it even to what's known as Kabbalah, right? Uh-huh. Which is sort of Jewish mysticism.
What is that exactly?
And mysticism has to do with exploring all of these paradoxes and the experiences and the things that you really can't sense and the things that you can't really describe with words, but still using allegory to explain in a story, at least, if you can't explain it with a sentence. And
is there a lot of things that... Of those shit? Is there a lot of mysticism
Yeah, there's a lot of mysticism. There's a lot of schools of mysticism. And
What's an example, if you could give me one?
well, I was talking about Kabbalah, right? That's basically, and Judaism, basically, you see a whole lot of like the Torah. You get like the Old Testament books. So there's like the first 5 books in the Bible, basically written by Moses type shit. And
So you're just talking about just fucking stories that we've been reading all along and all this bullshit?
no, the mysticism is something else. The mysticism is the attempt to sort of investigate those stories.
Oh, gotcha.
Interpret, see what's going on, see the numerical codes.
Oh,
See
like
the
some Da Vinci Code shit. Like
Yeah.
trying to like unlock it and really
Yeah.
find the real meaning of it and all that. So what happens when people have they
what?
investigated this shit? Like what do you?
They've been investigating this shit. That's what the whole schools of mysticism are about. There's even Christian mysticism.
For real?
Yeah, it's less common, but there is Christian mysticism. Actually, Michael Segru, he made a lecture. The guy that I showed you that he makes these great philosophy lectures. He had an excellent lecture about a Christian mystic.
Okay.
And but I still get back to this idea of like consciousness because we can't really know.
That's what we were talking about.
Because there's
we've been going off on a tangent.
It's like, all right, that game that they showed you, the telephone game, right? You remember the telephone game?
What exactly?
Where like you whisper something in somebody's ear.
And then keeps going, and then by the time you hear it at the last guy, it's something completely different.
Yeah, so think about it like this. Like your consciousness, your experience, right? You're the first person.
So you're going to have the best way
There's 3 people.
Okay. You 3 guys will describe it the best because you were there, you experienced it.
No, but there's one. All right, the 3 people are this. The first person...
It's the guy who experienced it.
He's the one who's going to explain the message. And the first person is the external world.
Okay.
Okay? The second person is your senses.
Okay, I see where you're going.
The third person is you. So basically, it's not like you and the external world are directly talking to each other. What you have instead is the external world talks to your senses, and your senses talk to you.
Okay.
So you have to trust the guy, the middleman, your senses.
I see. That's a good way to put that. That's a good way to put that. I never seen it like that. Okay, so your senses are the middleman.
Yeah, and then your senses, they don't just get the information. No, they have to convert it into chemicals and electric signals. And that hallucination is what you experience.
Wow. Yeah, that's a hell of a way to... Okay, so... Is there people that believe the other argument?
The other argument?
You said it's all consciousness. That's what came first. Whatever.
Well, I don't necessarily see. I don't want to prescribe too much confidence to any of this.
No. I know. I'm just saying though. There's obviously other people on the other side, though, right?
There's people that believe that it's all consciousness. Yeah, there's some hippie motherfuckers out there, right? There's people that pretty much stick to the empirical view, the scientific view. They're like, look, we're having this world and I could waste my time worrying about whether, maybe all of this is just my subconscious and I'm a solipsist and really the world, I'm the only person that exists and the rest is just a hallucination.
There's people that think like that?
There's some dorks on Reddit,
What the fuck?
But there's everyone on Reddit, so,
It's true what you said though, like saying things in a way, like in a poem or like a story. There's definitely meaning.
Yeah, and it gives a whole lot of interpretation room because when you tell a story, there's a lot to think about the story. It's not like saying an idea.
That's like, hey, look, it's point, like straightforward to it. Like here's this, here's that, bomb.
Yeah, what if I just if I told you the moral of a story instead of the story? Like, how much would you miss?
Exactly. Instead, you tell the story. It has kind of like an ending to it.
Yeah.
I guess as humans, we're just more into fucking stories and poems.
If I told you lying is bad, right?
Right.
I mean, that sort of gives you an idea. Okay,
that's a bad.
Lying is bad. Okay.
That can't be true. But
and then it's sort of like the difference between telling you that and then showing you the movie Pinocchio, right?
Okay. Lying could be good in a lot of situations, though. So it's
Yeah, it can. It can be necessary. Shit.
Extremely necessary.
It can save your life. Shit.
I think if everybody was honest, the fucking world would fucking crumble.
But there's situations where there's situations where you know you should be honest.
100%.
Right? And a lot of it has to do with like your close relationships.
Right, people you love, you care about, of course.
And I think that's basically the main idea. The rest of it is just the exception to the rule. But the general rule is still there, because who is Pinocchio sort of lying to?
Right. It's not even that. It's like that video I sent you, that based-ass video where it's this guy that he's like, bro, if anybody in the world is just an NPC, bro, you could tell them whatever you want and just keep on with your day.
Yeah.
And this motherfucker is talking about some random ass shit. He said he gave him like his fucking laundry coupon or some bullshit.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, that is fucking base though. Like the way that I guess we perceive things. Just it is true though that story shit, and perceiving it like that definitely. I don't know. It's something about it. It feels better. It gives you like this.
It gives you a lot more to process. It gives you a whole lot more to process. It's not the same. If you express just an idea, there's no actual example to interpret that idea with.
I mean, yeah, sure.
So a story gives you.
Yeah, but there's no example to those stories either.
No example?
I mean, there's no like. Sure, there's a story, but there's no like. Whatever. Like it just happened. Sure, like.
It's the difference between telling you something and then giving you an example of it.
Like the Bible stories, like there's some that are just so fucking far-fetched. Like walking on water, bro.
Yeah. Well, I mean, remember what I told you, though, as well about, for example, in the mystery religions, right? That the common people, they had the religious symbolism and they had the stories, and they took all of this to be a literal truth.
That's why, yeah, I feel you.
And then the initiates, they knew what was up.
So the top dudes were like, yo,
they understood.
Cap.
Yeah, they were gradually trusted with higher levels of truth.
Right, like 33rd degree Mason shit, you finally unlock the truths. You really get to know, like, I feel you. That's some fucked up shit, man.
What, keeping that knowledge?
Yeah, like, why? I understand it's for power and shit, and I guess in their eyes, but god damn, what happened if everybody just knew?
One excuse is that if it got into the wrong hands, it could be dangerous. Right. And so they had to decide who the initiates were going to be.
And that's what a lot of people say. That's just like human nature. There's always going to be the top dudes. There's always going to be...
You remember Pythagoras?
Pythagoras?
Like from the Pythagorean theorem?
I know the theorem, but what
so
about
just like basic trigonometry, right?
Like, what is it called?
A squared plus B squared equals C squared.
Okay, yeah, sure.
So, all right, so that guy, right? He was part of the ancient Egyptian mysteries, right?
He was?
He actually went to Egypt for years, from one account.
Okay.
He came back, and motherfucker was fucked around and discovered trigonometry and shit, you feel me? And then when he came back and he discovered trigonometry, you know, all that jazz, right? He ended up in a situation where he started his own cult. Because the mysteries were cults, basically, right? It was basically you were initiated. You can't tell anyone about this. Like, we'll fucking kill you if you let anyone know about this shit. Like, this is some shit you guard with your life. Right? And basically, he started his own, right, school.
Okay.
And, you know, his theorem... First of all, it's a lot more complicated because the thing is, like, back then, imagine, for example, if there was a story that could teach you at the same time through the same symbols, just interpreting the stories in various different ways.
Uh-huh.
That same story could teach you science, philosophy, morality, aesthetics, beauty, poetry, language, math, all of it put together into one story. And
into one story?
Into one story.
Jesus Christ. Right? That's a hell of a story then.
Now, For example, here's one of the things. If you see in Egypt, there's if you look into the temples they had, some of the you walk into some of the temples, and there's a mathematical code inside of the temple. There's also a symbolic code all throughout the temple,
right.
A religious code.
Right.
There's a moral code. So they basically, some of the things in the mystery religions, they would tell you some things. They throw your ass in that temple, and they tell you just walk around this bitch until you figure it out. And it's it's basically like a Rubik's Cube of all of human knowledge that they had back then, right? And it was all encapsulated, so the same symbol through one interpretation could be one thing, but then it confuses you because you don't know because you confuse it with the meaning that had to do with trigonometry, you confuse it with one that had to do with philosophy, and then another one that had to do with ethics, and then
goddamn,
and you just walk around that bitch until you figure out that puzzle.
Fuck, dude, that's a mission.
I mean, shit, bro, you'd rather be one of the peasants? Like, what the fuck?
No, but I get it, but Jesus Christ. You'd have to figure out a fucking puzzle? Some Zelda shit.
You gotta, like, prove your worth, too, you know what I'm saying? You can't just be no bitch, right? If you're gonna be into the mystery schools, dog, you can't just be some bitch, you know what I mean? You gotta be about that shit.
Dude, fuck. Were there any, like, dudes that were just, like, on some anti-fuck everything? Like, just...
Some fuck everything shit?
Yeah, like...
Yeah.
Were there always those guys?
Out of the tradition of Socrates...
Okay.
There came a few schools of thought, right? Stoicism was one of the schools of thought that came out of that.
Okay. Dope.
There was skepticism.
We know that.
There was a skepticism that came out of that.
Those guys are just questioning everything.
Yeah. And
they're in there like, what are we doing here? Like,
and then there was cynicism.
Cynicism?
Cynicism.
Is that like being really pessimist, negative?
Yeah, pretty much, and pretty much shitting on anything that somebody else considers to be true.
Is that what it's called, a cynic?
There was something called the New School.
The New School?
The New School, right? And the New School basically, and the Stoics shit on them. Basically, the New School thought there was nothing that you can know for a fact. Like, you can't be sure of it.
Some David Hume shit in a way?
Worse. Like, there was like, there's no knowledge that you can know for sure. And the Stoic, like Epictetus, he got real heated at these guys. He was like, you talk to one of these guys and you ask them, are you here? I may be, I may not be. Do I need to talk to this man any further to understand that there is zero hope with him?
Oh, man.
He's not a man of low intellect. It's just that his intellect has been brutalized by this ideology.
Jesus. So there were dudes that were just thinking like that?
Yeah, this was sort of postmodernism way before postmodernism.
How did they even cope with life?
What life?
Pretty much, yeah. Like, yeah, touche. But Jesus Christ, living like that must be a fucking headache.
It must be a pain in the ass to be related to one of those guys.
Bro,
come over for dinner.
Dinner.
The fuck is dinner? What do you mean dinner?
Yo.
How do I know it's gonna be there? How do you know all of gravity won't just fall apart and the universe is gonna stop existing 2 seconds from now?
Bro, those couldn't be people. Like, dude, I'd hate those people.
The Stoics were, Epictetus at least, he was just shitting on these guys. He's like, first of all, I can't.
Was the New School like very populated? Was it a big thing? Were there a lot of followers?
I'm not sure. By the way, I think I got it pretty much confused. It was there was Stoicism, there was cynicism,
okay,
and there was Epicureanism.
Epicureanism?
Yeah.
What the fuck is that?
So Epicureanism was this philosophy that came. Remember, those are the 3 main ideologies that stemmed out of the era of Socrates.
Gotcha.
And they stem based off his ideology. They sort of branched off from that. Right, sort of the way that chemistry bounced off the existence of physics.
Gotcha.
Right? And if you think about it, the issue with this new group of people, in terms of, I told you there were the Cynics, there were the Stoics, and there was
Epicureanism, whatever.
So Epicureanism, his thing was like to do whatever maximizes long-term pleasure.
Oh, the hedonism dudes?
So, yeah.
Type shit?
Yeah.
Those guys are swag.
He had a good justification for why you shouldn't, why you shouldn't do shit. Like, for example, why shouldn't you just drink for the next year straight?
5 years.
And he'll be like, well, consider long-term pleasure. Your long-term pleasure is going to be minimized if you maximize it now.
100%.
So you might want to consider that as well, right? So that was a way of saying, look, it's not just like it's not. I'm not trying to reduce life to busting a nut and dying.
Couldn't that be like a paradox in a way though?
Well, Epictetus hated him.
Like hedonism, like in a way. So hedonism is pretty much like just do anything that gives you pleasure.
It's the pleasure chasing.
That's it.
But it's different. It's different because Epicureanism stressed also long-term fulfillment of pleasure, right?
So
he also denounced certain things.
Like what?
Like, for example, he didn't believe in marriage. He thought that all you needed was platonic friendship in order to, like, maximize it.
Interesting.
Right? And first of all, Epictetus, he was like, fuck that shit. He's like, I'm a stoic, bro. Fuck that shit. Okay, we're not doing that. You don't need to do that. That makes no sense. Second of all, what is this ridiculous? But do you not see the beauty and morality and ethics and meaning and finding something that's meaningful in life and living accordance with nature, bro? Like, why are you doing this bullshit?
But to other people, that could be their thing.
What, just living like a pleasure seeker?
Yeah.
That's a meaningless life.
Is it though?
Yeah.
I'm not agreeing with it. I just want to play devil's advocate for the sake.
I know. I'm just saying it's like it's pointless.
You think so though?
Yeah, there's no meaning.
How though? If their meaning is to find pleasure though?
But that's not a meaning.
Why not?
Because there's nothing to it. There's nothing about that that's fulfilling. It's just pleasure. Like, meaning is something that you earn.
I see what you mean.
Like, you get something out of it. You get a sense of something greater than yourself. There's no.
So their whole idea is like they can't work to get some pleasure though? No.
You said they can't work to get some pleasure?
Yeah.
No, you can work to get some pleasure, but if you do it just to get the pleasure, it's not meaning. Like, there's a difference between something that gives you a sense of fulfillment,
sure,
and something that just makes you feel good.
And that's their whole thing, just feeling good, no matter what.
And yeah, it's about maximizing, just that happiness bullshit, right?
What
Now, you'd have to look more. I'll be honest. I'm not that. I don't know anything about it. I'm not balls deep into Epicurus because.
Right. I would like to look into it.
It's very interesting because if you really start after Socrates and then you look at the schools that came after that, obviously you have like his students who were the ones that wrote about him, right?
Yeah.
Like you had Aristotle and Plato. But if you look at the branches that came after that, you get these guys.
I want to see the individuals of that specific one.
Yeah.
And I want to see how good their life was and
yeah,
how happy they were and just like what the fuck they even did for pleasure.
Epictetus...
especially in a time... how long ago was that? Like...
Epictetus was in Roman times.
Okay. So what? They were just fucking bitches watching fights at the Coliseum.
No, actually...
Getting drunk with the homies.
No. Epictetus wasn't about that.
No, I'm not saying Epictetus. I'm talking about the Epicureanism.
Oh, you mean Epicurus?
Those guys or whatever.
So, man, Epicurus...
That's his actual name?
Yeah.
Epicurus?
Epicurus.
That's so fucking weird name.
I know.
Jesus. And what's his first name?
Remember his first name?
That's
the thing is, like, back then, like, motherfuckers just had that was...
Oh, okay.
Like, for example, like look at the guy who started Stoicism, right? Zeno. So Zeno. Yeah, if you were really trying to figure out who this motherfucker is, like if you want to know where he's about, like first of all, back then it was just like that name followed by the hood you grew up in, right? So it was Zeno of Citium.
Swag.
Right?
So damn, it's been like that ever since.
Yeah.
The rappers are like, yo, it's J Stars from Hialeah. Like, come on, like that's funny though.
You gotta change it. You gotta say J Stars of
Hialeah. But damn, that's funny. That's how they were represented? Like,
yeah.
Zeno from where?
From Citium.
Okay. And Zeno's the guy who invented?
He started Stoicism, yeah.
Damn, we never talked about him though.
Yeah, well, there's not much that we have that's like shit that... like
Epictetus brought it to the fucking...
Epictetus wrote more about Stoicism than I think anybody that we have access to now.
Oh, okay.
So, for example, he wrote his student wrote 8 manuscripts from him, right?
Most of the times it was their students?
back then, a lot of that happened.
They just kept it like, damn, I gotta write about this. This dude was spitting so much facts.
He was a philosopher. He had a lot of students, and so he would just give these lectures.
Gotcha.
And his student,
take notes.
Just so happened to be a historian, and actually one of the most respected and best historians of that era. So he was pretty. Like, he was a pretty trustworthy historian.
Credible source.
Yeah, so he's not about a bullshit, especially some shit like that, which he was very committed to. So it was something that ended up, for example, 4 of them, this is like live leak back then. Like, it's just a leak of shit. It was like, I have no idea how these manuscripts were released. However, you know, because it actually starts, if you look at the discourses of Epictetus. Okay. First of all, we only have 4. The other 4, because it's 8. That shit got lost in history.
Damn.
Right.
Wherever it could be.
So this is what we have access to. And then from there are other Stoic philosophers that we have nothing left written from them. And then some of it we have from other philosophers. Right. Right. So, like, there's times where Epictetus, for example, he quotes Zeno. Right. So without even any... Yeah, and the famous quote is, like, of course, live in accordance with nature, right?
So Zeno fucking said that.
Zeno was the man, yeah.
Damn.
Obsidian, Zeno of Obsidian. You gotta put the hood up.
Gotta represent the hood.
Put some respect on his
Sidium, dog. Reppin' Sidium. Damn, dog.
He had it rough, you know what I mean? He grew up in the projects of ancient Greece and shit, you know what I'm saying?
Bro, they were thugging it back then. Getting killed at the Coliseum. Bro, that was play for them.
That shit was serious.
Yo, if that was a time I'd go back there.
To the Rome or the Greek time?
Well, which one was better?
Man, I'd rather be in the Greek one, bro, because all the philosophy motherfuckers was just out there in the Pantheon thugging it out. Right. You know, just debates and shit. And it had this big ass thing in huge letters. It said, "Know thyself."
Damn, that would be a trip, dude.
Yeah.
Pulling up, time traveling back to these motherfuckers.
First of all, you have to have the right swagger if you're gonna go there. Right.
The white with the sandals.
You gotta have the bed sheets.
Dude, that's hard. I wish I could dress like that.
Like, just get out of bed, put the sheets on.
They were just free balling everywhere. They were living life, yo. No worrying about fucking underwears and just like, if you wanted to get it on right then and there with a chick.
Were you the one that told me that they were like using rocks to wipe their ass?
They did.
That's some wild shit.
That's all they had at the moment, bro. It was a certain type of rocks though, like pebbles. They were very small.
That was see, they did struggle.
So
you know
what? And then the stool, like the toilets would be like ingrained in like the fucking, like they would just make some shit like a toilet looking thing, and then the shit would just be there. Like, you feel me? There's no toilet, like you can't just flush. Right. So Dookie would just be there chilling, like.
You said chilling is just.
They were living wild,
relaxing.
They were drinking a lot though, right?
Yeah.
So all right, I'll probably chill out with the Greeks.
I don't know, like, because it depends. Like, obviously everybody in all times knew you don't want to be the village drunkard.
I mean, one of the philosophers was. He was a fucking mess.
A lot of them, yeah.
A lot of them? I thought the only one I knew was his name was with a D.
Diogenes?
Diogenes, yes. He was like the fucking fuck up, the philosopher's fuck up. Like, he was just naked most of the times. He would like take a deuce just like anywhere. Like,
but that man, see,
he was like the hobo of like philosophy.
He's sort of like the antichrist of the ancients. Yeah.
Is he?
I mean,
he was like that.
Dude, he was. First of all, he didn't give a fuck about. He was almost a nihilist.
What was his views? I haven't seen much.
You really want to know that guy's views, bro?
Yeah, I'm into it.
You gotta.
Just give me one at least. We don't have to talk about everything.
I don't know much about Diogenes, bro. I just know he was a sick fuck.
Oh, he was a sick fuck. Okay.
He was definitely a sick fuck.
I didn't know that.
Basically, I think he was pretty much. I'd compare him like. I'd say if Nietzsche was a retard, it would be Diogenes.
It would be him?
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, I think Nietzsche, before or during the time when he went crazy, he actually signed some letters to his friends, and he signed them with his name as Diogenes.
To troll? He was trolling back then?
And I think they were like, I'm worried about his mental health, you know.
No way.
Yeah, they actually went to go see him.
Damn, that man was trolling?
And,
What's his name? Diogenes?
Diogenes.
So, yo, these dudes have weird names, bro. Where'd these names come from? They're just Greek names? Is that even Greek?
Yeah.
That's a Greek name? Jesus. Diogenes. No, I got no internet. I gotta use it on my phone.
So, the idea of cynicism, for example, right?
That's his shit,
Yeah,
right?
that's his shit.
That's why I remembered
So-
that, yeah. Dude, this dude was hideous.
Well, it's now you see why he was like that?
He did look like some hobo.
You gotta put some respect on his name though, like motherfucker. Like we talking about this dude like thousands of years later.
Of course I respect
You know
it.
what I mean? Like,
I'm
he
just
was-
talking shit.
Like first of all, back then, I think pretty much all the famous dudes in ancient Greeks, like you would have hospitalized those guys. Nowadays,
In current times,
like if you would have
they
seen
all need hope, yeah.
Diogenes' antisocial personality disorder.
Oh yeah, with the current times, yeah,
You
all
know.
these people got fucking something, right? Epicurus, that's him. Okay, Diogenes Laertius. I don't know how to say that.
You know, and Epicurus, right? It's a fucking bipolar mania, right?
Let me see.
Socrates' delusions of grandeur.
Life.
Suicidal tendencies for Socrates as well. You look at Plato.
It has been suggested that Diogenes was an Epicurean or a Perhanist.
I definitely don't think he was a.
He passionately defends Epicurus in Book 10, which is of high quality and contains 3 long letters attributed to Epicurus explaining Epicurean doctrines. Blah, blah, blah. Additional lives. But yeah, there's a video that I watched. Some philosophy guy I like, he does like funny videos, and that's where I seen that like Diogenes was like a fucking
Yeah.
just a weird individual, like just like fucking doing all type of shit. Dude, what else do we got?
I am curious about, because I remember reading Nietzsche and then him mentioning Diogenes, but in a way that's just,
In a funny way.
yeah. Anyways,
Dude, have you seen fucking Marcus Jordan dating Larsa Pippen?
Marcus Jordan dating who?
Now, let me explain why that's weird. Okay, Larsa Pippen. I mean, I know you're not are you big on sports?
You mean like, is she Scottie Pippen's daughter?
Yes. No, not daughter. Ex-wife.
Oh, okay.
She is dating Michael Jordan's son.
Ah, I see.
Like, come on, dude.
That's like Michael Jordan pimping from retirement. He's like, I ain't fucking that bitch. My son gonna fuck that bitch.
We see, like, dude, that's a little weird, man. I feel like they were like, that's like his like uncle in a way, Scottie Pipp. Like, you know, like I'm pretty sure like when they were really young, he came over the crib sometimes.
I mean, listen, maybe it was like, maybe he doesn't have a. Oh well, it is his ex-wife.
Bruh, and some guy seen them in like in a football stadium.
Yeah.
And he just pulled up, was like, yeah, Marcus Jordan. Like he was just on some maniac shit, just like embarrassing the shit out of them. I even caught secondhand embarrassment. I'm like, come on, dude. Like,
Damn.
but yeah, that's I don't know, dog. I thought that was a little weird. But hey, man, shout out to Marcus Jordan.
That's some wild shit.
But nah, she's been known for like clout chasing and like, bro, she got with Future and like was like, she was acting mad slutty. Let's just say that. Like,
I mean, if she fucking Future.
like I felt bad for Scotty, dog, because like they were making fun of him on the internet.
I mean,
like,
think about the type of shit that Future's on though. Like, just listen to the lyrics. He said shit like.
bro, I think he's rapped about her too.
He said, "Got my baby mama and my side bitch kissing." Right, shit like that. It's like you got to be a freak if you want to be with Future.
He's a savage, dude. Yo, we didn't talk about Trump coming back. What's your thoughts?
He came back, but he hasn't said shit.
He just changed "Make America Great Again" to "Let's make America great and glorious." And that's it. That was like
That's some Kanye shit.
That was his new touch.
That's some Kanye shit you doing, Trump.
He announced it at Mar-a-Lago with like his fucking cult fan base,
Yeah.
the Trumpers.
Yeah.
And yeah, dude, he said he's officially running.
Yeah, I mean the thing is, we all knew he was gonna run. You know, it was like not that I didn't even tune in.
I know, it was so obvious. Like, okay, we know Trump's gonna run back.
He's been campaigning since they told him he lost the shit.
I know, dude. What are your thoughts? Is he winning?
I don't know. I really hope it's not him.
You really hope it's not him?
Yeah, and
now that he said he's running, do you think DeSantis is gonna announce he's gonna run?
I think DeSantis is gonna run.
Even after Trump saying he'll.
Yeah.
You don't think Trump will clean him?
No, not necessarily.
Okay.
I think it depends on what we see in the debates. If Ron DeSantis learned,
if he chokes during the Trump debate and Trump says some like Trump shit,
yeah,
it might be game over for him.
Yeah, well, that's what I've been thinking about. Because, like, if you see the past debates, like, first of all, during the past debates, everybody thought, like, Trump, he's just a troll. Like, he's not gonna win. It's impossible.
Yeah, they got very confused. Like,
but what happened was, like, oh, he's doing this shit for real, and he doesn't give a fuck the way that everyone else does, and they didn't know how to react to him.
No, he's an anomaly.
So now I'm sure that they're much more prepared.
No, yeah, for sure.
Because they're not stupid.
Not even that. A lot of the whole election denying and shit, like of Joe Biden winning and shit, that's definitely gonna put him in a bad light already.
But it has a bad situation because he has to get the Republican nomination.
That's the thing.
And if the Republicans are already on his side, then pretty much people like DeSantis would be the one that has the second
put in the work.
He would have to make Trump look questionable. He would have to make Trump look bad. He would have to make him look like he's a crazy dude.
You know what the thing is, bro? America loves entertainment, bro.
That's facts.
I don't care what anybody says.
No, this is the entertainment capital of the world, bro.
Like, no matter what, and even in a fucked up way, I think people would be down for Trump to become president just because of how entertaining he is.
Yeah.
And how, like, nobody gives a fuck about Joe Biden being president, bro. Like, and not even in that sense. I mean, like, he's just getting roasted constantly.
Bruh. Biden is this dude that's just, look, he's drinking ice cream.
Yo, did you see the video where he challenged the old man of push-ups?
Yeah, that was back when he was campaigning.
Yo, he pussied out. He should have did that. Yeah. I can't believe he let Biden just run on him like that. I would have been like, yo, are you really challenging me to a set right now?
Yeah.
Yo, I can't believe he owned him like that. I give Biden that W, dog.
You know what somebody should do? They should smoke crack in front of Biden, and when that person gets arrested, be like, look, your son.
Listen, bro, they asked him about, I think it was, did they ask him? Who did they ask? I'm trying to remember. It was something about Hunter Biden.
Bro, Hunter Biden came out to the press, and he was like, I overcame addiction.
When did he say that?
And I'm very proud of the fact that, through all these struggles, with my brother dying and...
He said that?
Oh, yeah.
When?
Dude, he went all over, like, the press, like, the famous press, the ones that are going to give him, like, easy...
He went on a press
run?
The
ones that are, like, CIA-sponsored and shit, the mainstream channels.
Okay. I'm talking to Fox.
CBS and shit like that. No, not Fox News.
Right, not them, but those similar to that.
But, like, the comedy shows where they make everything, like, sort of people shit that people are uncomfortable with.
Right.
Comedy can either make them at ease or it can make them see how stupid something is. For example,
for sure. And not even it kind of like it gives the person leeway to speak about multiple things that wouldn't be spoken about in a regular setting. Like,
I mean, think about it. I became an atheist
because of a comedian.
Because of a George Carlin skit, dude.
That's deep.
Like, religion, like, that shit had done enough. First of all, I was already, like, I didn't want the religious shit to be true, because it was like, okay, you go to heaven, and it's supposed to be, like, the best thing ever.
Pearly gates.
And then what you do there is you worship God forever. It's like, you're telling me the best option I have is to kiss some dude's ass for all of eternity?
I think Biggie said it best, bro. When I die, fuck it, I wanna go to hell. Cause I'm a piece of shit, it ain't hard to fucking tell.
Yeah.
Life ain't shit.
Oh, man.
With the goodies dressed in white.
I like black Timbs and black hoodies.
God will probably have me on some real strict shit. No sleeping all day.
No getting my dick licked.
Yo, when I heard that, I was like, yo, preach. Like, nah, but
I mean, the way they describe it, I mean, that's not really how the Bible...
Right.
The Bible doesn't describe hell as getting your dick licked.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
right.
It's eternal hellfire and
He's
damnation.
just saying that it would be so fucking, in a way, like you said, like you wouldn't want to be kissing ass to this guy.
But I had such a childish view of what the fuck any of this shit even meant. You know?
Right.
I mean, don't get me wrong. It's not that I'm a person that has faith in the biblical shit.
Right.
It's just that when stories are that old and they're interpreted for thousands of years, there comes so
the
many
telephone game.
There comes so many interpretations of the same story that some of them are actually excellent and some of them are actually terrible. And
100%.
So you'd have to think to yourself, probably the more literal it is, the more terrible the interpretation is.
Okay. I mean, so it's Ben Shapiro, bro. Mr. Facts, no feelings.
I don't want this guy telling me about facts, dog. He believes in the Moses story. All right?
That's what I was gonna say. That's literally Ben's. Like, he's a contradiction.
You don't want to tell me some shit about facts, bro.
It's weird that he. I mean, that's why I don't like when he says that either. Because it's like, dude, your whole fucking life is based on not a fact.
It's based on faith, which means accepting things without evidence. If you had evidence, you wouldn't need it wouldn't be faith if you had evidence.
Dude, we gotta talk about Sam Harris.
Let's get into it.
I don't think I'm a fan of Sam Harris.
Listen, I'm a huge fan of Sam Harris. I just want him to shut the fuck up about politics.
There's a lot of, I don't know, damn, I wish I remembered because I was looking at it on Twitter and I was gonna even save it. There was something I didn't like what he said. I forgot now. But whatever, let's talk about Sam Harris. I heard he got his account, he deleted his account on purpose. Why was that?
I don't know. Maybe did
he get in his feelings?
It's possible that he was like, you know what? It's so easy to be misinterpreted on Twitter, and it's so difficult to consider.
Who cares though? Why would you even?
Because it adds to
mentally.
It adds to a person's stress. It's unhealthy.
I won't lie, bro. When I was getting bombarded by the Kim shit, like, I wasn't like stressed, like, oh my god.
Yeah, but it is.
But it adds, like, you could.
Yeah, it's not good for you
to just ignore and say that it doesn't do anything.
No, it definitely does.
Yeah, like, I agree with that.
I mean, there's like research on that shit.
And then imagine actually famous people that are fucking hated.
Yeah.
Like Jordan Peterson. Like, I'm pretty sure he gets fucking hate messaged by the fucking...
Yeah.
Or, I don't know, Elon or like all these dudes. Yeah. And maybe even Sam Harris. Who knows? Yeah. But... Fuck, what was I going with this? Sam Harris...
He deleted his account, yeah.
He deleted his account, but... Fuck, what was I going to say right now? What's his whole, what is he? Like, he's a
neuroscientist.
Is he?
I
didn't know that.
He knows a lot about philosophy. He actually has a bachelor's degree in philosophy as well.
Okay.
He's very interested in what's called theory of mind. And theory of mind has to do with how we decide what other people are thinking.
What? Wait, what?
Repeat that again. Theory of mind, right?
Theory of mind.
It's your theory about what's going on in the mind
someone else's mind
of other people, right? It's like when you're talking to me right now, you probably have an idea of what it is that I mean and why I'm saying what I'm saying. Otherwise, it would be very difficult for you to communicate with me.
I mean, sure.
Right? So
only during conversation though, or just
whenever? If you see somebody walking by and you have an idea of what that person is doing, or when you're talking to
how the fuck do you accumulate that? Like,
you do it all the time.
Oh, I mean, you're just saying in general.
Yeah, theory of mind just in general. Like in psychology, they study theory of mind, right?
Do they? Okay.
And when children develop theory of mind, for example, like when they start interpreting what thoughts people are having, right?
Oh, okay.
Because that's necessary for things like empathy, for example, right? Like, how can you have empathy for someone if you don't have an idea of what it is
that someone's going through, or even
right?
Yeah, that's what you mean. Okay, the baby thing, I understand now more through the baby thing, but so he does that. What else?
So he's also very interested. He has a meditation app, for example. He's very interested in meditation. He actually went for quite a while, actually, to go out there to the eastern side of the world and actually be, and like train.
Oh, he was on his shaman shit.
Train in meditation. He's very much famous for his atheist takes, right? He's 100% an atheist.
He's an atheist?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, I didn't know that either.
That's pretty much what he's most. I found out about Sam Harris when I was like 12.
Damn, you found out about him super fucking young.
Because I was just first up, I found out about him through Richard Dawkins.
I've heard about him.
right?
Jordan Peterson, they've talked about him.
Yeah.
Is he a cool guy?
He's basically what you might call a secular humanist.
These terms, dude. Secular humanist?
Yeah, secular just shit that is isolated from the idea of religion and all that shit, right?
Right. Okay, yeah. I know about that because Kanye said he's going to stop making secular music. Or
Yeah.
he was going to, start making, okay.
Yeah.
So, secular humanist. Just everything
And a humanist, of course, in the sense of like, you know, the he wants what's good
for the greater good of humans.
for humanity. I don't want to say greater good because that implies like collectivism, and then it implies shit like utilitarianism, where like, let's say that you could maximize the good of 95% of the people.
Okay. I see your argument
If you
already.
fucking tortured
Tortured.
5% by making them work to death, right?
God damn. Yeah, okay, I see what you mean. Okay, so wait, oh shit, Richard Dawkins?
Yeah.
You said, well, why'd you bring him up again? I forgot. Sam Harris?
I found out about Sam Harris through Richard Dawkins because they're pretty close friends, and then of course through the very famous Christopher Hitchens,
Christopher Hitchens?
who he's dead now.
Okay.
And of course Daniel Dennett, who's a philosopher, who also specializes in he specializes in cognition. So he's like the cognitive science
Okay.
part of philosophy, right?
Yeah.
And these are all atheists, right? In fact, they got together and they made this conversation between the four of them, and they called it the Four Horsemen.
No way.
Because in the book of Revelation in the Bible, it talks about the four horsemen of the apocalypse,
Oh, God. So,
right? And they're basically trolling Christianity with that shit. It's
Right,
like, these
right.
are the four atheists. We're here to destroy Christianity. It was sort of the way that Nietzsche called himself the Antichrist.
okay. Literally, okay, I see what you mean, yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny.
It's like, I'm not going to destroy God. He doesn't exist. I'm just going to destroy the stupidity that you believe in. I'm just going to shit on it, basically, by using facts and reason and secular, humanist, scientific shit.
Facts.
Yeah, basically
None,
just...
of that, none of that fake shit.
Yeah, understanding the world through a scientific lens and using that, right? So Sam Harris is basically a guy that has a lot to do with atheism. He has a lot to do with philosophy, the neuroscience of people, right? He's a neuroscientist, so he explores a lot about like meditation and consciousness and the human experience, like the experience of consciousness and trying to figure out what consciousness is. And those are the really interesting things that Sam Harris has done, right?
The only thing I've actually remember now that I've seen of Sam Harris was a clip where he was going against
He was talking about Hunter Biden. Like he
No.
wouldn't care if...
no, not that. He was on Bill Maher's show.
Yeah.
Whatever his name is, Bill Maher. And fuck, what's that dude's name that he was dating, J-Lo?
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
I fucking
It
forgot.
starts with an A, right?
No, it starts with a B.
Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck.
Right.
He starts fucking arguing about Islam,
Yeah.
and that's literally how I learned about Sam Harris.
Yeah.
And then I started I seen it with more
I
clips
mean,
and
I
shit.
think Sam Harris and Bill had a point on that one.
They were just saying like the shit that some of the Islamic people believe
Yeah, they were
in.
talking about trends. They were like, yo, this is a problem. Like, it's a lot of them that believe that shit.
Yeah, it's fucking, they're doing bad things, bro. He's
Yeah.
not trying to specifically say that.
He's not trying to say Islamic people are assholes. He's trying to say, like, yo, this is a problematic trend in Islam, and it is part of the faith, which makes it hard to get rid of it the way that we got rid of some of the terrible ideas in Christianity a long time ago through the Enlightenment.
Right, and one of the examples was like the LGBTQ,
Yeah.
how like I think Islam are
Sharia law.
they don't play that shit, right?
In Sharia law, for example, the punishment if you're a homosexual is basically to throw you off a building to your death, right?
You're lying.
Yeah.
You're lying, dude.
Yeah, that's what it is.
What it is, written word for word.
Yeah, and then infidelity, for example, if a woman like cheats on her husband,
Does she
right.
get stoned?
she gets stoned to death.
You told me that one before.
Yeah.
That's still a thing?
Yeah. Dude, you can watch videos of that online. Like, it's a
Like
thing.
best gore type shit?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
The fucking father will throw stones at her.
Dude. God damn. Like, I didn't know it was that fucking serious.
Yeah.
Throw him off the building?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. I see why they say that then, because yeah, that is an issue. And what was Ben Affleck's point? He's like, yo, don't be trying to say that they're all like this or da-da-da, like some...
Bro, he was just being woke.
Yeah, like...
He was just trying to protect his career, though.
Do you think, though, that the majority believe in that, though? Even with how times are now? I mean, I know that side of the world is not on some... how the West is.
According to polls, most of them would want Sharia law. So it's like, the thing is, they escape places that have Sharia law because it's fucking brutal.
Right.
Like when ISIS shows up, and they implement what they think is Sharia law.
And which is?
Basically the shit I just told you about.
Right, okay.
If you steal some shit, cut off the guy's arm, you know, I bet he won't grab some shit like that again, you know.
Golly, bro. Dude, these dudes don't play.
And there's a problem with Islam that there isn't in like other religions. Like in Christianity, like Jesus, for example, he never married a 9-year-old type shit, you know.
That's a thing?
That's a thing.
When was that? I think you might have told me this before.
Especially, first of all, he died when he was 33, so he didn't live to be as old as Muhammad was when he was in his 60s, fucking a toddler, basically, right?
Muhammad?
Yeah.
He was fucking a toddler?
Dude. I don't want to say toddler. Obviously, she was old enough, right? Like,
but right.
He waited until...
Fucking minor, though.
He married her younger, and then he consummated the marriage, right? Which means he fucked her.
Weirdo shit.
It was that type of shit, right?
Oh man. Is there such severe things in other religions though, which I'm sure of? Their main focus was Islam, so I'm assuming that's the most severe one.
And Judaism.
I don't know shit about religion, so.
In Judaism, there's nothing that severe in Judaism.
You were saying, though, back then, though...
There's severe shit in Judaism, but not that severe. Especially not for... Like, back then,
Back then, if you were gay, would Christians fucking chop your head off?
If you were gay, it depends. Because what the Bible says, it has different laws, and it's difficult to interpret. Like, for example... Because Jews, they have a different thing
form
from Christianity. Christianity has the New Testament.
Gotcha. And what do the Jews have?
The Jews have, especially the first 5 books, right? So they have the book of Genesis. Okay. They have Exodus, Leviticus, Deuteronomy, right?
Same shit, different toilet?
Very different, actually, because
very different. Okay.
Jesus came and he sort of reformed the game. He sort of gave it like a new... First of all, here's a curious thing. Jesus in the Gospels, when they talk about the life of Jesus and the Sermon on the Mount and all of the different things that he said, there's never a case of Jesus mentioning homosexuality, for example, right?
And what section? The Jew side or the...
No, Jesus is only after all of that shit. So Jesus is like he's like the replacement. He's like the new and improved Judaism. He is a Jew.
Right.
He is a Jew. It's established basically in the first verses of the Gospels, right? They start talking about how he's like a descendant of fuck, bro, I forget the name.
I don't know. I gotta read religion books, bro. Like, are they even interesting? You're into reading like religious books?
Yeah, I read religious texts.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What's one that's like, I mean, if I had to pick one, I'd probably pick like, I don't know, Buddhism or like something like...
Buddhism is a difficult one to read.
Why?
Because you can find out about Buddhism mainly by listening to Buddhists. Oh. And there's a lot of Buddhist text and shit like that, but...
Complex?
Not really. There's a lot of different schools of Buddhism, though.
Okay. Different divisions.
Maybe listen to like Alan Watts for a little bit to get a good idea. He talked a lot about the Buddhist tradition of the Tao. And I think I think that's an excellent starting point.
So Alan Watts?
And excellent documentary. Watch a documentary on the Buddha.
The Buddha?
There's this documentary called Genius of the Ancient World.
Okay.
And it studies like the 3 like very ancient people that actually influenced us the most in terms of like the ideas they had. So it was Confucius. There was the Buddha.
The fat man?
And he actually wasn't fat.
Okay, never mind.
And then he almost died fasting one time.
Okay.
And then there was Socrates.
Okay.
So they made 3 different documentaries, but the one about the Buddha, you should definitely check that one out.
I mean, Buddhism does seem a little cool. Looks chill.
It's dope. Even Nietzsche had some respect for them. And he fucking hated religion, you know, so.
Apparently, though, my man was, what's that guy's name? Who was the head guy of Buddhism? What's his name?
You mean the Dalai Lama?
Is that who I'm talking about?
I mean, he's like the Pope of Buddhism right now.
I'm not talking about him. Fuck, what am I? I'm so fried right now.
I don't know who you mean, because I don't think there's anyone
Gandhi.
else. You said Gandhi?
Gandhi.
No, but he was a Hindu.
Oh, that's Hinduism.
Yeah.
So what's the difference between them? Is there
Well,
much?
there's actually a lot of common threads. So like both of them practice meditation. Hinduism has, of course, they have a lot of yoga, right? And they have yogic text, and they actually have a bunch of gods and parts of their religion. So they have like the Bhagavad Gita.
So wait, the whole yogi shit is Hinduism?
No, there's yogis.
There's yogis in
There's
Buddhism
yogis in Buddhism,
too.
but it's different. I honestly prefer Buddhism. It's much more secular, and it's much more based on. So when you meditate, basically and this is why I love it, because it has so much. It's the best way that I've found ever. Close right there with psychedelics to exploring your own consciousness.
Okay.
And basically what happens is like all your senses, right, and even your attention, because your consciousness, you're having an experience.
Sure.
But if you don't pay attention to the experience, because attention is basically it's like a compass, right? And you can use that compass to fucking...
You could be doing something and just be paying attention to something else.
Right, but you got to figure out whether you're headed north, east, south, west, right?
Yeah.
And so your attention is basically like that.
Okay.
Right? You use it to decide what it is you pay attention to.
Sure,
right?
yeah.
So meditation is sort of a concentration exercise, but when you work on that concentration exercise by like focusing on the sensation of the breath, for example, you start noticing the thoughts that come up, and you start noticing the emotions, and you start noticing the bodily sensations and how easily distracted you are and what you don't want to think about and what you're scared of, and all that shit comes up, right? And it's sort of like a mirror into your consciousness, because you shut everything out and you just pay attention to the present moment.
To literally just,
And you're sort of training yourself to control your attention so that you can decide where your attention goes.
Damn.
So you don't have to be a slave to just like your fucking mind owning you.
Dude, I gotta start meditating, man.
I did it today, shit.
So you said Hinduism is more like on the faith type of side?
Well, they both have, of course, the idea is that in Buddhism, you're not going to see a bunch of different gods. There's no Jesus, for example.
Okay.
So it's much more like they try to see conscious experience and they go from there, and that's sort of the experience, right? Because it's sort of like you're using your own consciousness as an experiment to reach what you call enlightenment. And Buddha called enlightenment, right, like being free from attachment, from desire.
That's Buddhism.
Right? Yeah, if you can free yourself from desire, then...
How the fuck?
Then that would be the way to get rid of suffering. Right.
So in a way... So that was their whole goal?
Do you want to see how powerful it is? I already showed you how powerful it is. You remember that video I showed you about that fucking Buddhist who set himself on fire?
The clip and shit.
He didn't even fucking flinch.
Damn.
Like, that's how powerful this shit is.
Damn. That's a hard one to debate. Like a dude just burning himself. Yeah, I seen that. I remember. And just he didn't scream. He was just there.
He didn't do shit.
I don't even know how to fucking put words into that. Like,
but it's incredibly liberating once you... And another thing you figure out, there really is no you. The way that you think there's a you.
Okay, explain.
So you have this idea of like you're this individual that's sort of separate from the rest of the universe.
We're a collective?
And then the idea would be, well, no, there's not really anywhere for you to be, for example, right? It's like, what part of you makes you you? What makes you you? Like, if I cut off your arm right now, right, are you no longer you? No, you're still you.
Still me.
If I remove a part of your brain, well, that part of the brain is removed, but you're still you, right? So theoretically, I could chop off a different part of the brain and you would still be you. So where the fuck is the you? What makes you you?
You're the certain characteristics that you have, I guess. I don't know. The certain person that you are, everybody's different, no?
But are you?
What is it?
But are you characteristics? I mean,
Am I characteristics?
You're having an experience, right?
Sure.
And you feel like there's someone that's having that experience, right?
100%.
When you get into a deep state of meditation, if you make it this far,
Okay.
if you decide to become an initiate into the Buddhist mystery tradition,
I will try.
which you can initiate yourself, basically. There's no secret to that. That one it's hard work.
Okay.
What you'll find out, there's not really... At one point, the idea of the you just disappears and there's just experience. There's just sensation. It's not a person having a sensation. There's just the sensation, the experience.
You
of the
just
present
happen to
moment.
fucking exist.
It just is.
There is no... Okay. God, why do they gotta be so... That's it? They're just like, there's no ego, there's no...
Well, no, you're not really gonna get that.
Even to get like that, it must take so much fucking
Right.
practice.
Because even, first of all, if you got rid of that sensation, that doesn't mean that you don't have like the logic of, oh, I'm still me. Like
Free will.
If that happened, if you really had no knowledge of your own existence and you didn't feel like there was any connection to anything, like if you just felt completely disconnected from the idea of being an individual,
Yeah, that's so weird to me.
Buddha
that
would have
idea.
died immediately after enlightenment. Go get food. Who is he talking to? What is a he? What is a they? There's nothing. It's just
Like, what are you talking
a
about?
bit of everything. There's just experience. There's no me for me to be here.
That has to be a contradiction, bro.
So
It's like,
it's not really a contradiction. The idea of an individual, it really doesn't make much sense.
you agree?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense
Why not though?
because there's nothing for you to be.
So you agree that there's nothing?
You're a body, right? You
Of
have this
course.
body.
We all have bodies.
You
We're
have
all
a body,
human.
but you're not a body. You're having an experience. Your experience is different from
But
the
this
body.
is my body though.
You can call it your body all you want, but
How is it not my body though?
well, if you want to assign ownership to it, I'm not a communist. I'm not gonna be like, no, you got to distribute Mike's body.
That's your body.
You know what I mean? It's like if
You work out, you do shit. That's your body.
You do shit with
you
it.
make it work a way that you want it to. It's your body.
You exercise. You do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Right.
You eat a certain way because it's your
But
body.
your body isn't your consciousness.
I was gonna say that. Right. That's the only thing that.
Your consciousness is something else. And that's what you mean by you. You said your body. You didn't say I am my body. You said I have a body.
Okay, I see. I see.
So you're not your body. You don't think you're your body. You think you have a body that you control.
Yeah, I believe in that. Yeah.
Right. So then since you have that, well, then there's something that's controlling that, and that's
Something's
you.
controlling the body.
So what is that you?
I guess your consciousness, right?
So what does that mean? Just like a possibility of experiencing? A center that experiences reality? Or some sort of perception of reality? Right, like these are the sorts of thoughts that sort of get you into thinking about what it is that it means to be conscious, what the fuck that means to be conscious,
A lot of people use that.
what suffering is.
I mean, sufferings could be subjective.
Suffering, yeah, the experience, right? Like what causes people to suffer could be like a psychopath, for example. He might not give a fuck if
About certain things that you might feel bad
like
about.
if his wife died, he might not give a fuck, right?
might celebrate.
Now, and by suffering, what we mean is like we're not attached to that shit. It's not that we don't enjoy life and that we don't, love people. It just means that
You're just not phased by things.
I'm not talking about me.
No, I'm not. I know. I'm not saying you. I'm just saying like in general. Like, if you believe in that, you're just not phased by
the
things.
idea of enlightenment. That's sort of like the what do you call it? That would be the place that Buddhist monks, for example, try to get to.
Right.
They try to get to enlightenment.
That's where they get no pussy. They don't eat nothing. They're the breatharians.
They're not attached to anything.
They just consume.
The breatharian shit, I don't know. I don't really think, like...
I'm just trolling, dude. I'm just trolling. I just like that term. It's funny.
Like, even the Dalai Lama would be like, that's some bullshit.
He's a breatharian, bro. I know a lot of them don't. Do they? A lot of them don't eat, though.
They do eat.
They do eat?
Yeah, they fucking eat, bro.
All right, so what? They just what do they consume, bro? I know they're on some, like...
A lot of rice, for example.
That's it? I know monks don't eat a lot of shit, though.
No, they don't.
They probably just eat, like, water and, like, some rice.
They don't eat, that much. They eat out of necessity. So, like, Buddha, he created what's called the middle path. Because, like I told you, one time he almost died fasting.
I was gonna say, the breatharians, they'll probably end up dying, bro. They can't fast forever.
There is no breatharians. That's some bullshit, bro. Forget about those dorks.
All right, go.
Fucking dorks lying and shit.
That's the internet, bro. The articles they be putting out.
Yeah, they be full of shit. Yeah.
That's a funny ass term, though. Breatharians, bro.
But so Buddha almost died fasting one time.
Right. Oh yeah, that's what you're
because
talking about.
back then the Hindu days and shit, there's still Hinduism, but still back in the day when Buddha was experimenting with that, he tried to reach enlightenment, and fasting was one of the ways that they would approach it to get enlightenment. And he almost died through that. He was like, well, that's not the way. And so oversaturation he knew was not the way, because he spent his whole life oversaturated. He was a prince.
Okay.
And
is this still popular?
what?
Hinduism? Extremely?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Would you say it's one of the most popular?
Religions? Yeah.
Really? Top 5?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. No, I'm just asking. So I know being a Christian is probably number 1.
Yeah.
And then what?
There's all right, so you could say there's probably 6, maybe there's Christianity,
Okay.
Judaism,
Okay.
which basically go hand in hand.
Same, different.
And then Islam goes sort of hand in hand in a way, because they also believe in Jesus. They just don't believe in it the way that Christians do. They think he was a prophet, but not the son of God.
Okay. Interesting. That's what the Islams.
Yeah.
Okay. What else? So that's why you're saying that's top 3rd probably most famous.
Those 3, and then there's the Eastern religions, right? Past the Middle East.
Right.
So you have Hinduism.
Buddhism.
And you have Buddhism, right?
And what else?
And I can't really think of much else.
You think religions were made to separate people?
No.
In any way, you don't think that?
That they were made for that?
In a way, yeah. You think it could have been some manipulation shit?
You'd have to get down to the details. Like, for example, there's like, if you look at Judaism, yeah, you could definitely make the case that it was made to separate people. Like, Jews were not supposed to be with, Gentiles and shit like that.
But in the sense that, like, all religions are kind of the same in a way. We all look up to this one person.
Yeah, but they really aren't.
They aren't?
They aren't.
I hear a lot of people claim that.
I know a lot of people try to say there's like this universal thing in every religion.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
And in a way, Masons believe that too, right? Like the Freemasons, they have this. If you go to a Masonic lodge, and you go to one here in the United States, typically, since the prominent religion here is Christianity, they'll probably have like some sort of Christian Bible or some shit. And then if you go to a Masonic lodge in like an Islamic country, they're gonna have, right? They're gonna have a Quran.
Okay. That's their Bible.
Yeah.
Right, type shit, okay. I don't know. I've always heard that claim. That's why I asked. People, Prodigy was gonna drop an album with him pissing on all the religions.
Yeah.
And I forgot what Alchemist said. He was like, yo, you better make sure you don't forget one religion. Like, make sure you get all them bitches in there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's what Prodigy had said before he passed. That's what he was gonna do. Dude, Prodigy has a tape called the fucking Hegelian Dialectics.
Yeah, you remember that? Yeah.
That's crazy. He knew shit. He knew some shit for sure.
Yeah. He was on some shit.
That's wild, bro.
He actually had a conversation with Alex Jones one time. That was interesting.
I'd never seen that, but I heard about it.
Well, one of the interesting things, if you look at like, because I'm sure that I'm pretty sure he had gotten into this area, but there's a woman who was the daughter of one of the Skull and Bones members, right?
Uh-huh.
She grew up basically in that area. And during the
Where Prodigy lives?
What?
Where Prodigy lived? Is that what you're talking about?
No.
Oh, you're not talking about Prodigy. You're talking about just in the Skull and Bones area?
Just her father was in the Skull and Bones fraternity, right?
Oh,
like
okay.
the 322, the same frat that
What the fuck is that? I don't
that
know.
Bush was in.
Got you. I've
So
heard
this,
about that.
this is at Yale.
You're saying she grew up around that?
Yeah, her father was in it.
Okay.
So they were well connected, and basically, during the Reagan administration, she was she held some position in the federal government in education
Okay.
under the Reagan administration.
Okay.
So she was in that area, and she was trying to figure out why they're dumbing down the kids. She's
Sure.
like, why are they trying to make everyone retarded?
That was her claim.
Why are they making education worse? And so she ended up writing a book called the Deliberate Plan to Dumb Down America or something like that. Or
Okay.
the Deliberate Dumbing Down of America. I forget what the actual phrase was, but...
And then what? I'm assuming...
Well, she mentions early in the book the Hegelian dialectic and how politicians use it to control people. And
Damn. How long ago was this? You said the Reagan era?
well, she died in the probably in the early 2000s.
And that book came out during that time?
It came out before then.
Before then?
Alex Jones did like a 2-hour interview with her.
Damn, she knows her shit.
He talked to her various times.
I was gonna say, we never talked about Alex Jones. We never got into that. We could probably end. How long are we even?
It's been a while.
We can end it with Alex Jones. It's been almost 2 hours and 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So Elon doesn't want to bring Alex Jones back.
I think the issue is like there were no standards that had been predetermined when he got ownership of the company, right?
But before you even go into that, I have a picture of one of his tweets. I might as well just bring it up. I think it was like one of his new rules. New Twitter policy is freedom of speech, but not freedom of reach. Negative and hate tweets will be max deboosted and demonetized, so no ads or other revenue to Twitter. You won't find the tweet unless you specifically seek it out. No, this applies just to the individual tweet, not the whole account. Okay. I don't remember why I saved that, but... So it just won't get ads, and it pretty much will be shadow banned. Any tweets that are...
Yeah.
And apparently, I don't know if this is true, but apparently Twitter... there was rumors that they want to take Twitter out of, like, iOS and Google Play. And Elon said if they ever do that, he will make his own smartphone. He literally said that, I think today. So...
Oh, shit.
Let's see, dog. But what were you saying? Alex Jones.
I'll rock a Tesla phone.
100%. If Twitter's gone, I'm tight. Let me just tell you right now, if Twitter's gone from iOS and Apple Play or whatever that other shit's called, Google Play, I am pissed, bruh. They can't do that, bruh.
So the Alex Jones shit.
Do you think he should be back on the platform? Yes or no?
Yeah, I think pretty much I don't have a problem with him being back on the platform. I think if he violates the rules and the rules are clear, then that should be its own solution to the problem.
You don't think the Alex Jones situation is a little serious though, and the whole thing involving kids and shit? That's Elon's kind of argument. I
don't think he's gonna talk about that. He pretty much doesn't have legal permission to talk about that. I think pretty much the courts already took care of that. I don't think Twitter needs to do much.
Yeah, but just future things, that's the whole point.
Like what?
I mean, he's a liability, right? In that sense, right?
In terms of what? If it's like the fake news shit, then it's like, well, do we have freedom to have the wrong opinion or not?
Well, it's out to the government, bro.
Well, the government...
They just sued. They're trying to take him for fucking Billy. For an opinion.
That's what I'm saying.
For an opinion. But like at that other, you look at it from the other side as well, and it's like, damn. No, I don't agree that things people say.
He definitely didn't do that amount of harm.
He didn't kill anybody just because he had an opinion and this and that. Obviously, other people fucked with the victims of the situation. But to blame it all on him though, and not blame the individuals that actually...
He didn't ask anyone to do that shit.
That's what I'm saying though. Like
he did not incite violence towards the family that I know of. Right? And then the other side is like, this is already a situation that's being handled and has been handled in the courts.
That's why I think he should be back, because this guy's getting sued for $1 billion. Let the man go back. They already did this shit in court. It's already been handled. Whatever has been done has been done. I'm pretty sure for 1,000%, Alex Jones learned his lesson.
Bro, we have dictators. We have like stone cold murderers with their Twitter accounts there. Right? People that
murder shouldn't be on Twitter?
No, the idea is like, if you're going to say that you didn't like that he said some fucked up shit about kids, and that's your fucking excuse, like, bro, get dictators that are murdering children. How about you get them out then?
Oh, there's dictators that are murdering children on
yes.
Twitter? Name me one.
Bro, fucking Putin.
He's on Twitter?
Bro.
I've never seen his Twitter account. I really didn't know.
Bro, all of these politicians.
Every politician has a Twitter, I'm assuming.
All these dictators, they have Twitter accounts. They have more dictators, right? People who...
With that, the body count of the murders is fucking through the roof.
Do you have any murder at all that Alex Jones caused?
That would be a socialist argument right there, with the whole... the dude who interviewed that fucking communist professor guy, he was telling him about all the murders that Stalin and Lenin did. Mm-hmm. And his whole argument was like, there's actually no proof that Stalin did it intentionally. We were talking about this earlier, though. The whole the famine shit
well, that's
or whatever.
Bullshit.
And then he just started ranting about some shit there.
Yeah. We know for a fact he did it intentionally. Like, the proof is all over the fucking place. Like, he asked for that shit to be done.
Yeah, I just can't understand some people, man. To be a communist and... First of all, to be a communist and have a PhD, and then to... Like, you worked so hard for that, and, like... How could you have such a PhD and be so dumb?
Oh, man. They're all over the place.
It kind of takes away, like, the meaning of school for me, though. It's like you did all those years. I don't know how long it takes to get a PhD, but I'm assuming it takes fucking a minute. And that shit takes some hard fucking work.
It depends on the PhD.
I'm pretty sure he's an
economist?
I think. I'm not sure. I don't want to say that, but he probably is.
But, like, listen, that's like... in economics, fair enough, right? Getting a PhD in economics.
Tough?
Well, yeah. Yeah, it's tough.
Richard Wolff claims that no fucking, which was proved wrong. I seen a video that nobody had spoken to him about Marx, or, like, when there's, like, books about Marx. I forgot. There was somebody, there was a video on YouTube that I was hearing it. There was just a lot of shit Richard Wolff be saying
that is not fucking true. Yeah, he knows it's not true. He keeps saying it.
Do you think he's honestly not just not being genuine, though?
He's not being genuine, bro. He's a fucking... He knows it's bullshit.
But how could you stand there and just spew so much shit like that?
Bruh, you're a fucking propagandist. It's what you do. He doesn't care if he has to lie to get the message across.
To me, it's funny, though. It's like, what the fuck? Like, we can't live like this, bro.
Every time this man opens his mouth, all I see is Bill Clinton saying, I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
You seen the Lex Friedman one, too? Yeah, he says the same shit, like I said.
First of all, Lex gave him an easier time than Kanye.
Yo, thank you
right?
And not even, dude, did you see the Destiny one with him and Lex?
Yeah.
Yo, I didn't fuck with that at all. First of all, I didn't like Lex's whole, like, attitude versus Destiny, and, like, the whole... First of all, Lex started going on this little... I don't know, he was pissed about the gaming community and how they speak, and, like, saying the N-word, and, like... And he was talking to Destiny about, like, he was really on his ass, though. I never seen Lex, like, that uptight over a guest, like, and I was like, what the fuck, what's wrong with him? I don't know, I just really didn't enjoy it. Like,
I mean, Destiny's kind of annoying,
sure, but but it's freedom of speech. Let the man say whatever the fuck you want. You're here pressed about... He was saying, like, oh, nah, you can't be this type of person spewing hate. He was talking about how the gaming community spews hate like extreme hate because of the way they speak. You've seen clips on Call of Duty. Like if Lex seen a Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 lobby, he'd probably fucking cry or
I don't know what the fuck that's about.
Like he was going on a rant about it and trying to explain to Destiny how it's like bad for us, and then Destiny got him with the best. Destiny's. I hate him for some things, but he was like,
what he said?
He was like, all right, Lex, just throw away hip hop music then.
Yeah.
Just throw it in the fucking garbage. Like, and then he had nothing to really even debate that. Like, he was like, listen, man, I'm not trying to censor you. I'm just trying to say that, like, the things you're saying. And then I was like, bro, come on.
Oh,
like,
that's a switch of the topic there.
Yeah, like,
that's some politician shit.
As soon as Destiny said that, which was a great point, he's like, oh, shit. Like, he just realized, like, he was just telling, like, yeah, let's let black people just say it, right? Like, it doesn't matter if it's in hip-hop music, right? Whatever. And Lex just, like, he kind of just choked after that. Like, he didn't. I'll give Destiny on that. He's a good debater, but, and we're just here still ranting. Did you see, we'll end it here. Did you see the video where Destiny and James Lindsay debate?
Yeah.
What'd you think of that?
I think it was a shitty debate in the sense that what they were covering for the most part was ESG scores.
They were, yeah, that was what it was.
And I think that was a pretty shitty topic of discussion for them.
I feel like Destiny's point was like that he was kind of saying that James doesn't know how the market works and like this and that.
Yeah.
And like James was more on the Klaus Schwab, the Great Reset, what they want to do and all this shit, which I don't know.
Yeah, I think Destiny's a little bit too naive with that type of shit.
You think so?
Yeah, he's a little bit too economic, a little bit less political.
Wouldn't you? But
I see that like really do follow the money then. Like really do follow the money. The money is not headed towards open markets. The money is headed towards conglomeration. The money is headed towards like fucking financing.
You don't feel like you're naive on vaccines?
On vaccines?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah?
Sure, why not?
No, I'm just saying.
I just don't know like what would make me
What would make you naive?
Yeah, what would make me not naive? I mean, would I have to be a doctor to not be naive about vaccines?
That's another topic.
How much would I have to know about it to say I'm not naive?
That was pretty much Lupe and Rizza Islam. Rizza Islam was like, yo, there's a bunch of things that show this, but at the same time, there's a bunch of shit that shows that it is good for you. That's like the most trickiest thing to debate now because of misinformation.
Because I don't like the idea of the expertise shit. It doesn't say anything about whether or not you're right or wrong, right? Well, if a doctor walked into a room right now, sure, right, and he basically told you, brain tumors don't exist,
that would be bullshit.
That would be bullshit. It doesn't matter that he knows more about medicine than you do. It's still bullshit. So when he tells you in a reply to that, I'm a doctor. I have expertise in this. Like you don't know what I know about this. It's like that has nothing to do with whether or not what you said is true.
Okay, but
it's an argument from authority.
COVID-19 is tricky though, bro, because there's the whole agenda shit. There's biasness. There's people are getting paid to say shit. People don't know shit.
Yeah, that's why you don't take shit on authority. Authority is not an argument.
It's a tough one. That's why I don't even like to. Lupe's whole shit was like he knows fucking a bunch of scientists and whatever the case is. RZA at the same time, he says...
That's an argument from authority. It's like he should have... Instead of saying, I know a bunch of scientists, what you should say is, well, give an argument that they gave. Give the evidence that they gave.
Lupe's not a fucking health guy.
And if you don't know it, and you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, just agree to say... You probably don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
They were citing people. I'll give you some names. RZA's guy was... I don't know if you ever heard of Andrew Wakefield.
No.
Damn, it's a UK doctor, I believe, that was discredited after he started spewing shit about the vaccine. He was against it.
Yeah, that happened to a lot of doctors.
And that was RZA's, I guess, his guy. And then...
have you seen The Cult of the Medics?
The Cults of the Medics?
Cult of the Medics.
It's a movie?
It's a 8-part documentary series.
Netflix?
BitChute.
Bitch shoot, hey, damn, that's
You
my type
sleep
of...
as fuck. You still on YouTube, fam? Bro, they killed everything good there. There's
That's my
nothing left.
Nah, YouTube's fire still. YouTube's
So
fire.
fuck are you watching on YouTube?
I'm on my debate shit. I'll be watching debates every now and then, and socialism guys, and watching the ridiculousness of them. And
Bro, you need to be initiated into the bitch shoot
nah, after you
community.
showed me, what's his name? Miss something Buddha. What's his name?
Mouthy Buddha?
Mouthy Buddha. Yo, Mouthy Buddha makes dope ass videos. Like I was
Yeah.
intrigued. Like
Yeah.
holy shit, he's
good.
he has more, right? He's dropped new shit.
Not since I finished all his other shit, no.
Damn, I gotta check out some. But what was the one you said? Cult of Medics.
Cult of the Medics, yeah.
Is it good?
It's pretty good.
And what is it?
It can be kind of corny sometimes, but
Is it some vaccine COVID shit?
that's only see, that's almost, I'd say this shit has like 3 elements, right? Like
Okay.
one of them has to do with like the medical shit. The other one has to do with the political shit. And the other one has to do with the mysterious shit.
Gotcha. Lupe also claimed that, well, one of his things was like, the only way to beat COVID or fight COVID is either get the vaccine or get COVID-19. There's no other way. Like, there's no way to know if you'll be able to, like, it's either or. And Rizza Islam is like, nah.
Is he talking about like preventing the spread of the shit?
Not
or-
preventing the spread, but, like, that's the only way you'll get over it. It's either getting the vaccine or
get COVID?
Or get COVID. That was one
I mean, I'll be honest with you. I've never had COVID.
I think I might have COVID once, but it's hard to say.
I don't know what he means by that because, like, there's a lot less.
Rizza Islam's point was, we've never needed vaccines ever. We don't need vaccines ever.
That
to
we don't
live.
need vaccines ever?
That was his claim, that we
Damn, that motherfucker should try polio for.
we don't need vaccines
He
that...
definitely needs some tuberculosis or polio in his life. See how that shit turns out.
Dude, one of his... I gotta tell you his reparations take.
No, I don't want to hear that bullshit. That's just.
Dude, he believes that black folks should have, like, 3 states. Like, the land be theirs.
Like a black separatist?
I don't know if that's what...
That's black nationalism, is what he's saying.
Like 3 states in the country should be theirs, their land.
Yeah.
And that'll be a way to like help with reparations and people that have dealt with slavery. And
That's the dumbest shit I ever heard. First of all, what are you gonna do? All right, let's take Kentucky.
No, the states he preferred were more of the down south states.
Yeah.
Because of the land is good there.
Oh man, you're gonna start a second. You want those states?
He said specifically the down south states are better for the land, they're better for the fruits.
I hear you. Okay, so
yeah.
take everyone out of there that's not black and force them to relocate.
I don't think he means take all of them out. I think he meant like the land is owned by blacks, by the blacks that were...
Yeah, but what are you gonna do to the people that own land there that aren't black? Do they not own that land anymore? Do
see
you
what you
throw
mean.
them out of your house? Like, where are you gonna go? You don't have any land.
I don't know. That was some things he said, and then another guy in the show was like, he had threw like a number out there, like, oh, we should all get like 250,000, and that like that the government would be able to do that. They have the money to do that. They could do that. Like he was like claiming that. Like
Yeah, they could give everyone 250,000.
yeah, I was just like, okay, what does that even mean?
All
like,
that means is
like,
inflation, really. I mean,
But like, yeah, and pretty much Rizza Islam's whole thing is just he's against the government. A lot of it. Like I said, he's a fan of Louis Minister Farrakhan, whatever.
but that's
his name
his
is.
solution is the government.
What? The
I mean,
reparations?
He's against the government. He wants the government's help.
Oh no! I mean,
His solution is government oriented, right?
he believes that the government, a lot of it is the enemy.
Yeah, and so why is he asking them for a fucking handout then?
Because because black people went through slavery.
Yeah, but why would your enemy give you a handout?
I mean, sure, yeah, I see what you're trying to
You
say.
understand? Like, it's a stupid idea.
Right. I see what you're trying to say.
If like the guy that's about to fucking execute you, you're like, yo,
Yeah,
give me a house, bitch. Like, what are you doing? What are you fucking... that shit doesn't make any sense.
but yeah, man, he's an interesting guy, man. Like when I was just like, it's funny, bro. A lot of his takes. It's that's all I got, though. It's V N APE.
That's... Bruh, let's end this shit. I can't...
Listen, guys, we gave you guys a fucking... I don't even know how long, but we're out here. We'll be back next week. I'm tired.
I'm honored.
Swag. Peace.
Peace.